This episode brought to you by Uncle Arnie's Vaginal Rejuvenation Spray. Because we all know that one girl that's vagina looks like the Predator's face.
Hey everybody, we are watching Predator and you are listening to Miscast Commentary.
You're listening to Miscast Commentary, where two guys have seen way too many movies and have way too much time on their hands.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Now here's your hosts, Joe Findlay and Todd Murray.
Hey everybody, welcome to Miscast Commentary. I'm Joe Findlay.
I'm Todd Tebow, the Sailor Murray.
And we've got another Arnie classic coming at you. We're trying not to hit you with too many too soon. So we've given you Commando so far, and now we bring you Predator. This movie has got it all. Miniguns,
yes.
Jesse the Body Ventura, a white guy with big muscles, a black guy with big muscles, a different white guy with big muscles, a Native American with big muscles. All the way.
Jesse the Body Ventura.
He was one of the white guys with big muscles.
Oh.
And then, as always, a Latina love interest for Arnie. Although
and don't forget the governor.
Yeah, they're both. Yeah, it's two governors.
Yeah, there was actually.
Actually, almost three.
That. And then I forgot the name I just said before.
Yes,
which was Jesse the Body Ventura. He was
don't
amazing.
trust the two-party system. I live off the grid.
That's pretty good, actually.
I work hard.
I like that one.
All right. We do have a movie to watch, so let's just go ahead and slowly but surely press play.
Pressing play now.
We did it. All right. 20th Century Fox, old school 20th Century
I like this
Fox
one.
Logo.
I always thought, you know what, whenever I heard the word Predator, I always think pre-date tour. I don't know why.
Oh.
Like you're going on before the date, you're like taking a tour. I don't know.
Yeah, I get you warmed up. I put you in a good mood.
Yeah. And then some other asshole comes in and gets to bang you.
I'm the pre-dater. Or maybe you're the person, that's why they're also called predators. I date people who aren't old enough to be dating adults yet. And I teach them what it's going to be like.
Pre-date tour.
All right. So it starts good already. We've got stars. See, Arnold Schwarzenegger's a star.
Oh, man, he's the biggest star on there. Look at that name. It takes up the whole poster.
I like that they immediately abandoned the whole idea of going Arnold Strong.
Oh, my God. What?
That was his name in Hercules Comes to New York. They called him Arnold Strong. It was like
Arnold Strong. Jeez, a little on the nose there, huh?
Well, yeah, exactly. And so that was going to be like his name. And they're like, instead, let's just not do that.
I always missed this when it came on TV, this part right here.
I am actually not remembering this scene at all.
Yeah, I know. I do now because last time I saw it years ago, I was like, oh, I don't even remember seeing this. This explains a lot.
I recall that, it was like, for me, I just always remember the movie just starting at the mission in the jungle.
In the jungle with the helicopter.
Yeah. Yes.
Right?
Yeah. So, yeah, that's very good. But, a lot of people sold this movie as like aliens in the jungle.
I can see that.
For obvious reasons.
Sure. This is my favorite music of any movie.
This is a fantastic score.
And what's funny is that the movie we watched last week, if it works out like that, is the same composer, which is Alan Silvestri.
Alan Silvestri is a brilliant guy who did things like, I've got it written down.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which is amazing.
Yeah, that was a big one. The first music he ever did, the first big job he ever had to do music, he did every episode of Chips.
You did?
Yeah,
so that was
Chips. Way back in the day.
The potato variety. Those guys on the bikes can suck
very good. Obviously, he did all the Back to the Future movies, which was a big breakout for him. He did Overboard. I
love Overboard.
But here's a real ebb and flow now.
That's like my life.
So he did Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Mac and Me, My Stepmother is an Alien, The Abyss, Dutch, Father of the Bride, Cop and a Half, Death Becomes Her, Super Mario Brothers, Grumpy Old Men, Clean Slate, Forrest Gump, Richie Rich. There were tons more in there. He's currently doing like the Avengers movies, and he did Captain America. Basically, if it's a Marvel movie,
the Avengers movies?
If the Marvel movies feature Captain America, then he's done it. Like he didn't do the Thor movies, he didn't do the Iron Man.
He did all the Captain America. He did Civil War.
Yeah, he did do Civil War, and he's done
sweet movie.
He didn't do Age of Ultron either.
Yeah, good.
But But yeah, just so he's got brilliant scores. We got Arnie there again. I like gruff looking Arnie, where he's got like some stubble and he's got all that stuff going. He actually lost 25 pounds for this movie.
He did?
Yeah. Well, he wanted to look more like a covert op, and guess what?
Instead of a big giant.
Yeah, exactly. Like obviously he's not losing all his muscle, but like you can tell he's not as big as he was in Commando.
Yeah, you can say his shoulders aren't nearly as like was huge.
This is honestly, I think this is the best he's ever looked. Like, he doesn't need to be a bodybuilder anymore. And especially now, like, if he would have maintained this body, he wouldn't have Clint Eastwood's face as his torso right now. It's
true that, eh?
Yeah.
That's the problem when you're like a ripped guy and you get old. It just looks like look at Ric Flair.
You just start to deflate.
Oh, yeah. It just looks weird.
So another tie-in, Joel Silver was in the last movie we did, which is Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and he's producing this one. This actor right here, I've got his name somewhere.
John McTiernan.
R.G. Armstrong is that general that it's walking up to.
Right.
He was Pruneface in Dick Tracy.
That's Prune Phrase now.
That's
I'm Prune Tracy.
He died. Yeah, there you go. He was also in Children of the Corn. He died in 2012. So who cares anymore, right? But that's.
How dare you?
Yeah.
Arnold's got quite the tan. Look at him. Is that a spray on or is that for real?
Well, they're in Mexico. It's probably for real.
Holy Jesus.
So originally this this whole movie was going to be just him. And it was going to be
just Arnold,
like Arnold versus the Predator, right?
The whole thing,
and the whole thing, and he didn't like it, and then they were like, yeah, we should probably like have a team or something like that, right? And they all get killed off, and it ends with you, blah blah blah. And so they really figured it out, and I was like, yeah, this movie would have been garbage if it was just him.
Well, you can't say that, but that would have been weird. It would have been too long, probably.
Oh yeah, anything over 40 minutes would have been ridiculous.
Holy jeez, Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers.
Oh, here we go.
Like,
look at this.
Like, what can we say about Carl Weathers?
Fuck. Like, I can say a lot. Look at that gorgeous Apollo Creed looking motherfucker.
And he was always
beautiful.
He was always a really impressive and dynamic and very underused guy.
I agree.
In action. So like obviously he was in the Rocky movies. He was his first role. He was in Magnum Force.
Magnum Force.
His breakout obviously with Rocky. He had a small role in Close Encounters. He was of course Action Jackson.
Of course.
Which was a big thing actually. The stunt coordinator from this movie directed Action Jackson, which is why he's in it. Sonny Landham's in it. A couple other people are also in it.
Ralph Moeller.
Yeah. But quite a few people from this movie are in Action Jackson for exactly that reason, because the guy had just recently worked with all these actors and was doing his first movie, so needed some familiar faces kicking around.
What a fucking movie.
Oh, absolutely. Now let's talk about John McTiernan for a couple minutes.
Oh, I love him. It's too bad he's not around anymore.
Do you know why he's not around though?
Court cases.
He went to jail.
Oh my, holy shit, that was pretty close.
Yeah, he apparently did some like illegal wiretapping on the guy who he was, I think when he was producing Rollerball, there was producer Charles Roven. He was like illegally. He was like wiretapping him and stuff like that, and he got charged back then, and that was why, like, that was his last movie for a big chunk.
Yeah.
And then it's because nobody wanted to work with him because of all this craziness, and he was like in appeal and all that.
The guy's office or something.
So I don't know what I don't have the whys.
So he's lost it. He's made too many war movies. Has John McTiernan been to war?
Not that I know of.
Predator loves Little Richard.
I feel like he was a nom guy.
Like,
but I
was he? Because that sounds like something.
This is my favorite like prep for war scene of all time. Like, because they tried to keep it very real, like the chatter amongst the guys, and trying to be serious, but at the same time, like,
I find it funny the tune they're listening to go to war to now would be like, let the bodies hit the floor. They'd be listening to some bullshit, but they're listening to Little Richards. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of cool.
This is perfect. Jesse the Body Ventura. If you were going to have somebody be like on your kill squad, that's going to be him. That is Richard Chavez playing Pancho there. He is actually the only war vet in the entire group. And do you recognize that guy?
Him.
Yeah.
Let me see him again.
He's very big. So he's I
just say it, I don't know.
Yeah. That's Shane Black, the director.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, that is.
What has Shane Black done? He's done.
Shane Black. Let's talk about it.
Did he do the?
He directed
Shaun of the Dead and all those?
No, no. That's
Edgar Wright.
No, Shane Black did like Iron Man 3, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Okay,
He's
yeah.
actually directing The Predator, which is the reboot that's coming up for
Ooh,
Predator.
there is?
Yeah.
It's
But
actually an office romance.
But he wrote Monster Squad, Lethal Weapon, The Last Boy Scout, The Long Kiss Goodnight.
That's where I know Shane Black. It's Monster Squad.
There you go. So he wrote that.
Did he direct Monster Squad?
No, he didn't direct Monster Squad. But like seriously, like this guy like turned into a pretty big deal recently for like his directing and stuff like that. Like people, I mean, like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang got a lot of attention, but he actually also wrote those jokes. I
like the character in this movie because he always has to explain them.
Mm-hmm. Well,
as a kid, I didn't get it either.
Well, no, why would you?
Yeah, I totally didn't get it.
Yeah, like what you like the idea of pussy is just like
I'm surprised, like, is this an old copy? I'm surprised they haven't taken that out of this movie.
Nah. It's good enough. Like all he does is shave, which makes me happy with Bill Duke. Bill Duke is another guy. He's a director and an actor. He directed Sister Act 2 and Hoodlum.
Oh my God, he directed Sister Act 2?
But he's another guy. He was in Action Jackson. He was in Bird on
Commando.
a Wire. Payback. Yeah, he was in Commando. He was in X-Men: The Last Stand playing Bolivar Trask, which was played by Peter Dinklage in
They're
Days
so
of Future
similar.
Past. Almost
They're
identical
so
people.
similar.
But like, look at like everything about Jesse the Body Ventura this time period is exactly what you would want in this kind of movie. It's really kind of a shock to me that he didn't become a star in his own right.
What about Abraxas Guardian of the Galaxy?
It's not enough. Like,
Oh
but
my
I mean, like
God.
Roddy Piper got movies,
Yeah.
and he didn't. I'm like, he is a million times
Have you heard-
more like compelling.
I
to me.
just saw the end of it, and I don't know why I thought it was maybe a short, but it was called Portal to Hell.
Okay.
And it stars Rowdy Roddy, and it was awesome.
Oh, really?
He was like the janitor of this place, and this portal to hell opens up in the basement.
Interesting.
But it ended in like 5 minutes, so that's why I thought maybe it was like a short in between movies or something.
That's interesting. Yeah, I have no idea.
And it was awesome. Anyways, if you're out there in movie land, look up Hell Comes to Frogton, starring
Frogtown.
Rowdy Roddy Piper. Fuck that Portal
movie-
to Hell movie.
That movie is a fucking genius.
They filmed this in real jungle? This looks like real jungle action.
This is jungle, but this is in Mexico. They didn't shoot this in like real South America or anything like that. I can't remember specifically where, Puerto Vallarta or something like that.
Right outside the old hotel.
Yeah. What was funny though was because of the demands on this, Schwarzenegger missed his wedding rehearsal with Maria Shriver.
Marie, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and she was less than happy. Everybody on this movie except Schwarzenegger and McTiernan got the traveler's diarrhea from the water.
Not Schwarzenegger, nothing against Schwarzenegger.
Because the stars and the
had
directors
their
are
own
getting
bottles of water, and yeah.
So they're getting the nice stuff, and then the fucking dirt bags all got
The
all
dirt
got diarrhea.
bags. I'd be pissed. Can I have one bottle of water, Arnold, please?
Yeah, I'm literally dying.
Shitting blood.
But they were saying that this was a real pain in the ass place because it would get really hot during the day, really cold at night. The water was stagnant and had leeches.
Oh,
and,
hell yeah. Look at
Interesting.
that. That must be heavy as fuck to carry around.
And a real interesting thing, miniguns are never meant to be carried. This is the first time in a movie in history that a person is carrying a minigun.
That's because he's so fucking badass.
It's because he's so...
when he starts firing that thing and it's like an entire nation just ripped apart.
Yeah, people have done it since, like it was done in Terminator 2
2
and all that. But no, miniguns are like things that you
Stick
either hook
onto
you stick
a-
onto a helicopter
yeah.
or a truck, and they
It's
are
usually
not
on a tripod or held up by Jesse the Body Ventura.
under no circumstances are they held by a man, because usually they don't send in guys with giant arms.
This whole team.
Yeah, with all of the weight loss on Schwarzenegger, though, Ventura found out that his arms were actually bigger than
Schwarzenegger's during the filming.
During the filming, he found out his arms were an inch bigger. So he found that out kind of secretly. Just somebody from wardrobe just happened to say it. And he's like, why don't we measure our arms? And whoever's got the smaller arms has to buy champagne for the crew or whatever. And so Schwarzenegger, they did it. But then Schwarzenegger had the wardrobe department go back on that and say, oh no, his are bigger.
No.
So then he lost the thing, because Schwarzenegger's like, nope, the star has to have the biggest arms.
The biggest
Which I would
arms.
argue that probably Carl Weathers still had bigger arms than both of them.
You
'Cause
think? Well, I don't know. Was Jesse wrestling at this time? No, it was the 80s.
You know, he was announcing it this time.
He was announcing, look at the arm.
That was
my best way.
That was, I think it was WrestleMania 2 he did that. And it was one of those shots, they used to do this shot where it was like over their shoulder towards the ring, and he just did a flex.
Because you can tell because he can see himself on the monitor all of a sudden, right? So he's like...
We should do a WrestleMania one time.
Oh my god!
Just around WrestleMania, we'll do an old
totally
WrestleMania.
Should.
Break it up into a couple of episodes.
Look at the grenades hanging.
Yeah.
If you were going off into war, would you want that gun there with the machine gun and the bomb shooter?
Couldn't hurt.
Or what would you take? Something light.
I would take an automatic weapon and a sidearm.
Yeah, I want to do John Woo style.
Automatic weapon
with
with
a shit ton of handguns on me.
Yeah, automatic weapon with a bayonet. Because then you can also just use that as a knife if you need be.
I want a gun that shoots bayonets.
So Sonny Landham back there.
I like him.
He's a real badass guy too. He was in like Best of the Best 2.
I like him a lot in this movie.
Yeah, he's also in Action Jackson. He was in Lock Up with Stallone.
Oh, sweet.
He's in Maximum Force. He died this past August, actually. But this movie, the insurance company would not insure it until the studio bought a bodyguard to protect the rest of the crew against him, because apparently he has a very hot temper and was known to get very violent.
What, for real?
Yeah, like apparently he would start fights.
Why would they even fire the guy?
Because he's awesome.
Because he's a badass.
Because he's a badass.
Do you think this guy's gonna start a fight with Carl Weathers, Jesse Ventura, or Schwarzenegger?
I don't think Schwarzenegger's a good fighter. I think he would beat the shit out of Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, but I mean, still, he's the Schwartz.
Yeah, I know. But I think they just didn't want to risk it, and like the insurance people are like, this guy's gonna fuck up.
This guy's a loose cannon.
Like if he slices the face, like if he fucks up the face of one of these guys or something like that, we're out a lot of money.
Man, I want to just hire a bunch of dudes to be with me all the time.
Yeah,
so I could say something like that. Like, what are you guys all doing here? Is it to protect him from someone? No, it's to protect you from him. You know, they could say some awesome line like that. I'll just sit there.
Yeah. It's amazing. In the movie, you can see he's always got a real sense of all this stuff. Like is
he part Native American or something in this?
He's supposed to be Native American. I think he is Native American.
Look at this drips all down his shoulder here, eh?
Yeah.
I'm like, buddy, you're gonna get all sticked out.
Yeah. Well, it's more water than syrup. But
how the hell do you know?
Because it's the jungle, baby, and everything's water.
Welcome to the jungle, baby.
Yeah.
You're gonna die.
But they did a novelization of this after the fact, and because like they're saying he always seemed to have a real instinct about like knowing where the predator was and all this kind of thing, and you find out in the novel that he's actually psychic and he like he can summon the memories of his Mayan ancestors. And like they wrote this like gigantic weird backstory for him instead of just somebody who really
been way better,
who's really kind of in tune with nature.
Well, that's all I took it to. He's Native American. He's in tune, so he knows like something's out there, right?
He's a tracker.
Like something's not right out there. Oh, this is awesome.
And this is a little bit of proof of that.
He found these guys. Look at how grody that looks.
Yeah, when you find a bunch of skinned upside down people.
I think they used to cut that out on the TV version when they would show it on TV.
Yes. I think like the one long shot they kept.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the up close one where you could actually see faces.
Watching this movie back in the day on TV was fucked.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy to see a movie because it's very rare to see a movie where you see young people who were in Vietnam.
Right.
So that guy was in Vietnam because this movie's old enough for that.
Oh,
to
like
make sense.
actually.
Yeah, he was legit there. That Richard Chavez, who plays Pancho in this, and he does not look the least bit Latino, but that's how they sell it.
Nice catch.
Some dog tags, yeah. Imagine how many takes that actually took. Hopper.
Jim Hopper.
Get to the hopper.
I recognize those intestines anywhere.
Yeah.
It's my friend Jim.
That's why you have dog tags, is for in case of predator violence.
He only takes your spine, not your dog tags.
Yeah. But so we're looking at Carl Weathers too. Anybody who hasn't seen Arrested Development hasn't seen Carl Weathers be amazing.
Let's pull over here. I got coupons for Burger King.
But everywhere, and then he's like,
got free food.
I have never touched my per diem. He's like, I just go to craft services. I get some of this. I get some of that. And get yourself a stew going. And I just like the ability to make fun of yourself because he plays himself. He plays Carl Weathers in the movie. It's just so funny. And then obviously
when
Chubbs and Happy Gilmore.
when you're Oh, I forgot about Chubbs.
That was so
You know,
good.
when you're like Carl Weathers and your agent calls you and says like this, we want you should do this show.
Yeah.
Because he probably didn't know what Arrested Development was.
Probably not.
His agent was probably like, you got to get your fucking ass on this show because they want you.
Yeah. But and then what do you think though at that point? Are they making fun of me?
Exactly, that's where I was going
Or
with
are
that.
they- yeah,
You got to have a sense of humor about yourself, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I like the idea of like, and it makes fun of him even more because he's an acting coach. And when it shows like scenes, it shows the scene in this where he gets his arm blown off and all
That's
this.
good. I think he did great in it.
Oh, he was. I think he's brilliant.
Fuck, do you think
really
if your
do.
arm got arm blown off by the Predator, you don't think he'd be hollering?
He's got a lot going on right now. He's in all those Chicago shows. He's like plays the same character in like Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, Chicago.
He does?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Holy fuck! Look at this.
I like that he has a baseball-sized ball of chew that he's got working at any given time. I was like, that would make your teeth fall out meth style.
Big League Chew.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there he is. This is awesome.
So,
this movie does the perfect like build.
Yeah.
You never get to see him.
No.
In little fits and spurts, you'll see him, and oh, there's this thing, and then only in the end.
People
Just
never understand. It's like you see, especially with like the B movies and stuff like that. It's like a B shark movie, and you see the shark within the first 30 seconds of the movie. Jaws, it takes almost an hour to see the shark. I don't
Yeah.
remember the exact time, but
No,
it's a long
something
time.
like that, yeah.
And that
It's all
movie
about the building
terrified
of
people when it
suspense,
came out.
right?
Yeah.
But then when you see the shark, it's pretty worth it.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
got to be worth it. Like in these movies, like, Sharknado, within the first 10 seconds, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But it's like if you're going to convey a threat, you have to let it be threatening. You can't go, "Oh, this is out here right now." Like,
Yeah.
it's gotta show.
And you got good old Stan Winston doing the effects.
Yeah, there's actually a lot going on with this Stan Winston thing because Stan Winston had to redesign it. Somebody else designed it originally, and apparently,
Oh, really?
they described it as like a duck with it was very
I
weird.
wish we could see it. I wish they had it in like
Yeah.
the outro, for
Yeah.
fuck's sakes. You ever been in the jungle before Carl Weathers?
Well, and then there were a lot of periods of times where it was also, oh, you ghosting us, motherfucker. Bill Duke is like, you have every right to be intimidated.
oh
when
my
he talks
God,
to you.
yes.
Like, even though he looks like he's too out of shape to be there compared to the other guys or whatever.
Oh, he's
I was
there
like,
for a
if-
reason.
Yeah, if he talks to me, I'm listening, and he
Yeah,
always
right.
whispers, which means I'm really listening. And I think that's part of his mystique. Ironic because he was in X-Men movies.
So
and I
this
think
is
that's
the
mystique.
real jungle.
Yeah. It's
So in that scene where they're tearing it up there, is he really tearing the whole jungle apart?
it's interesting. They did hack some jungle, but I mean that's not uncommon to hack a trail in a jungle. But there's an area later that's all burnt out and stuff that actually had been previously burnt out, not for a movie, just from
At the end?
wildfire or whatever. Yeah, and that was actually the
Look
only
at that
thing.
Arnold ass shot.
Yeah, the only thing they did is they spray painted some trees black, like some dead tree stumps black,
Right.
to make them look like they were like recently burnt. But they made sure they didn't destroy nature. They just kind of did what is happening. Because I mean, animals are doing the same
And
thing.
when the
to get
scene,
through
like when they
jungle.
go crazy and they just shoot the whole jungle apart. Remember,
yeah,
he just
when it-
unloads the fucking.
Yeah.
Meh.
Well, yeah. Again, that's something that happens in nature. It's every now
You'll
and
go out
again.
there and some bear shooting
Yeah.
a minigun at the trees.
Sometimes a mountain goat will get down there and spread his minigun. Arnie's actually got 3 sequels right now in pre-production.
He does?
Yeah, they're still talking about doing triplets.
Oh my God.
The sequel to Twins.
Oh,
that was
Jesus.
very
Who's
violent.
the
I
other
didn't
one?
Remember that. They talked about it again.
Mel Gibson.
No, they said Eddie Murphy
Oh my God.
because they wanted it to be something way out, like as far out as they could get. So they're like, get a black dude.
Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito, and Eddie Murphy. Oh my God, they have to do this.
Yeah.
Is the next one Junior 2?
No,
And he's pregnant with twins. No, it'd be Junior 3. He's pregnant with twins.
That's brilliant, and one of them's Danny DeVito.
Exactly.
But the Legend of Conan.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And then the next Terminator, which is going to be direct too, as we
Arnold
talked
is
about
the
before.
man. He's still got the box office drop, baby.
Which is crazy given how long he went away from Hollywood.
He's Arnold.
And they just came back. Now that being said, like he did some other stuff that like was kind of like independent. Although he's got that movie I really want to see right now, Killing Gunther, that
Killing Gunther.
that Taron Killam directed.
Yeah.
And I really would like to see that. 'cause
Maggie
he looks
wasn't
a lot-
bad.
Maggie was good.
Yeah,
but then
he was
he's
good
got a
in
lot
it.
of those kind of like in the middle ones as well right now, like Collateral-esque.
Like straight to Netflix.
Yeah, and so he's got a few of those, and then he was in Escape Plan, and so I mean, there's stuff going on with him, but then like
There's gonna be another Expendables.
Terminator
or is that
Genesis
done?
sucked. I think it's likely done. I don't really know.
They could have
where
done
else
way
they
better
can-
with those.
Yeah. Well,
If
it's
that
hard.
was
They
me, I would
added-
have split that cast. I would have
Yeah.
split the cast and made half of them bad and half of them good.
Mm-hmm.
There's too much fan service for all the guys.
And that's the problem is these guys, because they get their way all the time. They're
That's
like, I
it.
don't want to be a bad guy and blah, blah, blah.
Like it should have been like, you know, it should have been Arnold versus Stallone.
yeah.
You know what I mean? We should have had like Jason Statham versus Dolph Lundgren. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It should have been a total mix up.
People who fought, or get people who have fought in previous movies.
Yeah, or
so you have a
something.
fight between Stallone and Dolph Lundgren.
Right.
And it's like, oh man, well, this has happened before, but this is in like a different way. So it's kind of cool.
Or you could
But
get matchups you never saw, like Chuck
Yep.
Norris fighting Stallone.
But
or
you,
like
yeah, you can go all over.
Van Damme versus Chuck Norris.
Yeah, you can go all around with that, but then also you can have these little moments that, like a la Dancing with the Stars, how they made like Alfonso Ribeiro
Oh my
do
God,
just
where
a
they can
little
all
bit of the
dance.
Carlton, just to give you that little
Oh, right,
reminder.
just a little-
So you like have these two guys who have fought before, and then you do something that they did in that fight, in their fight in the other movie, and it's just like a little wink. So it's not even something that's like overt.
Not too-
Yeah,
I love this part.
yeah. Well,
Arnold's
when
like,
in doubt,
hold on, guys, I'll take the whole thing on.
when in
Don't
doubt,
worry."
he pick up a 4,000-pound truck and just run it down the thing.
Like the glasses. This guy was wearing these glasses in war.
He actually, well,
Like,
and
what the frig?
what's hilarious is Shane Black actually requested the proper glasses that you would be given. They're ballistic glasses.
Oh.
And John McTiernan said no. He's like, you need to look like a geek.
Uh,
So he's like, these are the glasses you get. And so he was really pissed about those glasses at the time.
didn't take very long to get to an
Nope.
action sequence, eh? Good old
Yeah.
John McTiernan.
Nobody notices.
Got to see some biceps, Arnold's ass. Boom, now an
Yeah.
explosion.
So John McTiernan, if nobody does know him, so he was, he went to prison. I think it was 21 months he was sentenced, and I think it was in appeal and all kinds of craziness going on. He was a candidate to direct both Batman Forever and Mission Impossible.
Really?
And obviously didn't do either of those, but he did do Die Hard 1 and 3. He turned down Die Hard 2.
Good job.
He,
What would Rennie Harlan have done if he didn't, if he did
I
it?
don't know. There was another sequel out somewhere. He could have done Revenge of the Nerds 3 or something. He did Hunt for Red October, Medicine Man, Last Action Hero, Thomas Crown Affair, Basic, Rollerball. He was offered
I
Commando.
like the Thomas Crown Affair.
Yeah. He was offered Commando, and I did mention this before. He was he was
God.
offered when we did Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah.
I did point out that he was offered Jason Goes to Hell
Oh, he was?
as well, and
McTiernan?
he turned it down. Which it would
Look
have
at all
been.
the full body burns and shit.
Yeah, it's a lot of good stunt. I like the way he moves too. He flows. When Bill Duke, when you see him in these, he always flows through the sets. Because there's another one where he runs later too, and it just like there's no like bobbing up and down. with
Right,
him.
he's just kind of floating like Dracula.
he speaks and moves like a ghost.
He's like the vapor.
Vapor.
He's like a fart in the wind. Boom, look at all the shit blowing
Yeah,
out.
this is like mega violent.
Oh, look at all the full body burns, man.
I think because the rest of the movie is kind of
Slow.
more psychological
Right.
thriller.
You got to
because
give
it's
us something
you're-
like this for all the Arnold fans coming into
Yeah.
this going like, where's the action?
Yeah. We get this, and then you realize that this wasn't even half the threat of what this other thing
yeah.
could be.
Because they were thinking right now that these are the dudes that skinned those other dudes. And
Yeah. This script was actually a spec script from Jim and John Thomas, who were brothers, and this was the first thing they ever got made. But they also wrote Executive Decision.
that movie kicks fucking ass.
They are credited for the story for Wild Wild West.
Oh, God.
We've been talking a lot about Wild
Oh,
Wild
my
West because
God.
Wild Wild West, the script was actually written by the guy who wrote Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Dear God, listen to that thing.
And then they wrote Predator 2 as well. And then they have most of their other credits. There's a ton of other Predator things, but it's always like characters by, which is a credit they just have to
Right.
give because they wrote the original movie.
Do you get money
Yeah,
if
you
you're
get-
that guy?
Yeah, of course.
If you're the characters,
Yeah, well, because from a Writers Guild standpoint, you created that character, which means you have the rights to it, which means if anybody uses it, it's the same way. It's why the Simpsons writers, they said they all like somebody's always looking to create a new character on the show
Well,
that might
'cause
get
then-
reused, because every time they get used, whether they wrote the episode or not, they get extra money.
no way.
Yeah. That's the
Everybody
deal.
wants to try and create a character, eh?
TV is the shit, man. Like, I was trying to remember, what's his face? Lewis Black. I went and saw him in Hamilton recently.
Right?
And
How was he?
Amazing.
Of
He
course
was
he
so
was.
funny. And he was talking about doing that one episode of Big Bang Theory that he was in, and he still gets residual checks for like over $1,000 like monthly
Really?
from it. And that's one episode that he was in, but it airs so many times over so many channels
Right.
that it's like it just adds up. If
Oh,
you're the
that's
kind
like
of show,
Seinfeld. Like they're
Yeah.
still getting checks.
they probably make more money. Actually, we talk about Seinfeld too. We just today, from when we're recording, the news came. Julia Louis-Dreyfus has breast cancer.
No.
Yeah, that was sad. So a lot of support out
I
there
love that
right
woman.
now. She's brilliant.
She just won all the Emmys again.
Yeah, she did, and she deserves them. And she's amazing, and we hope that she pulls through and keeps nailing it for us. But yeah, it's like I guarantee you, she makes more off of Seinfeld repeats than she's making off of
Of a
Veep.
Veep.
I guarantee it, because that thing still airs, like 60 times a day in North America alone.
Oh, you know what he
Best
says
line
there?
ever. I ain't got time to bleed. What?
He says, "Son of a bitch is dug in like an Alabama tick."
Oh,
I just read it on the bottom.
you always thought that was Alabama tit.
Alabama tit.
Well, tick
Which I
makes a
thought
lot
meant-
more sense.
It
doesn't
certainly does. Well, I thought he meant like they're hard to get at. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
these Alabama girls don't give it up.
I hear that.
Dude, I'm like the fucking tick master, man. I got ticks on me all day long.
Oh, really? I've never had one.
This movie's freaking me right out now.
I've never had one, or I might be
The
dying.
fucking ticks. I had 5 ticks on me one time.
Spoon.
Oh yeah, the new tick's coming out.
It's already up.
Oh, it looks like shit.
I'm looking forward to at least giving it a try. It's
No,
out.
I'm looking forward to saying it sucks and never giving it even one shot.
I'll do what I always do. If I don't like it, I just go back and watch the cartoon anyways. I got it on
Fucking A.
DVD.
The Midnight Bomber, what bombs at midnight, baby?
I'm making gravy without the lumps. I knew
Oh, look, he was fucking lying to get them in there.
Yeah.
What was his real reason? Did they want the girl?
Yeah, no, there was something else.
It looks hot as fuck out there.
He was skinned alive. Yeah. So,
Oh, because these guys were,
They're
got
like
the,
a
you were in
drug.
the wrong place, the wrong time, boys.
yeah, they're like a drug thing. What happened
Arnold,
to
you are the fucking man.
We used to do this all the time in the videos we'd make. We'd always have that. We'd have this discussion where I think the one we did in the Frank NAFTA one. I wish we had that video still. I would love to be able to put it online. But we always threw this thing in where one of us would go, "You changed," and he was like, "No, I've seen the light." But it's exactly that thing. It's like, "What's happened to you?" "I woke up." That's what it's always that kind of
I
thing.
woke up. I think we could do it way better now.
Yeah. I also like, because what are they? Are they military or are they mercenaries?
They're
Because
the Millimers.
Because if they're military, they're literally not allowed to turn down work. They can't say, "No, this isn't the kind of thing we do."
They're
follow the
so
orders and you go.
fucking good that they can.
Yeah, it's like
That's why Arnold's mad, because he's like, he doesn't do this rinky-dink shit. That was only 5 minutes.
Yeah, no doubt.
He only lifted up one 4,000-pound truck. Like,
Yeah.
this is beneath him.
Yeah, he wants the kind of money he got for Batman and Robin. $25 million for 25 minutes.
You know, it's funny that you just said that, because I was thinking, I forgot we were shim-shamming.
Yeah, we're
And is this a 20 million Arnold movie? Is this in the 20 million range? Like, was he getting 20 million for this?
Oh God, no. God,
Maybe.
No.
What when was what is this?
The
in
whole
time? I used to know the exact
for this-
timeline.
the budget for this movie is $15 million.
That's it?
Yeah.
What? With all those explosions right there?
But let's keep in mind, it was all there, and now it's like done.
And the explosions.
Yeah, no, but explosions aren't an expensive.
You're just filming
thing.
a scene and all the shit blew up. That
Yeah.
worked out perfectly.
Yeah, but an explosion isn't an expensive thing to make.
That's
You
not
know,
what I
it's
heard on
like-
that thing. They were talking about TV. Just one car blowing up was like 50 grand or something.
Yeah, but again, in the grand scheme of all that, so doing all this probably cost them like 500 grand. So it's like, boom, that's not even, that's
I
maybe
can't handle
1/30th of the budget.
these scenes right here.
Yeah.
This movie will end, and that is what I will hear all fucking night long.
Yeah. Those voices you hear of the Predator and the little clicks and all
Right.
that, done by Peter Cullen, who is best known as Optimus Prime,
Ooh.
who's also a Montreal-born.
He is?
Yeah,
Stick around.
but he
Look at there. So he is blacker than Wesley Snipes.
He is
Wesley Snipes' shadow.
And we got the episode title for this one. All right, cool. I was going down to see again. I was nothing. I
like this one. This is a good one. I never got this as a kid.
Yep. I love it so much. But can you believe that's Shane Black though?
No.
Like that blew my mind.
I did not know that. That was a really good.
That blew. Like, I was reading and I was like, this can't be the same Shane Black. And then I clicked on him and I'm like, oh my god, it's him. It's the guy who's like directed Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
That's crazy. Like, Kiss Kiss. That was supposed to be a good movie too.
It's a good movie. Yeah.
Never saw
Iron Man 3 and see like
Iron Man 3 was garbage.
Iron Man 3 was a bad Iron Man movie, but it had a lot of cool things in it. Like
I'm not like the biggest fan of any of the Iron Mans, to be honest with you.
I hear that. I hated Iron Man 2. I really liked Iron Man 1.
Yeah, Iron Man 1 was good.
But the thing I liked about Iron Man 3 was the same thing I liked about The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I didn't care about the superhero parts. I cared about the human parts.
Right.
And Iron Man 3, like, there's a great scene where he doesn't have the suit. He has to rely on himself for, like, the first time ever.
Ugh.
So he goes into a hardware store and he makes all these little weapons for himself and and he takes out, using that and what martial arts he has learned, because he's like, I still need to know how to kind of fight even though I'm in a suit. And he fights his way through all these guards and stuff like that. Then you just get into the problem with the whole Mandarin thing and all that.
Oh, they ruined Mandarin.
They ruined
his greatest bad guy.
But they gave you a little something, because then you find out that the real Mandarin is out there still.
Yeah.
So they gave you this little.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Well, maybe he'll come back. I don't think Iron Man's making it out of this Infinity War though.
I think he's gonna make it out, but I don't think he's going to be in it anymore. Like it's gonna be like
a couple of them are gonna die.
I think because
Captain America's gonna die.
Captain America's gonna die. Thor, I think, is gonna die.
Whoa!
And then I think that something's gonna happen to Iron Man where he has to be done.
Well, the team is gonna change.
Marvel is such as well that they replace those people currently. Depending.
Morales is Spider-Man.
Miles Morales is Spider-Man, which actually they did confirm that Donald Glover in Spider-Man Homecoming is the uncle of Miles Morales, because he even talks about his nephew being a burglar and stuff like that, and then so that all becomes, which is extra funny because
becomes Thor.
Donald Glover was supposed to be Miles Morales at one point.
He was?
Yeah,
I don't see that.
They wanted him back when
I can't see him as
before
Spider-Man.
Andrew Garfield was cast. They wanted him, and they were like, don't go with Peter Parker, go with Miles Morales and use him. Like, it wasn't something that the studio was doing. It was kind of a fan pushed thing.
Falcon turns into Captain America,
and Bucky Barnes turns into Captain America, depending on what storyline you watch.
I prefer Bucky Barnes to be Captain America, to be honest with you.
Well, I think he will be, because again, I'm doing a lot of this based on movie contracts. And
well, that's what I was thinking too, because what's his name is done pretty much.
Because when Chris Evans had 4 movies left, Sebastian Stan had 7 left.
Is that Bucky?
That's Bucky. And so that'll happen. And they've been working on, like in Civil War, they worked on kind of like giving him some time with some of the other characters.
I loved when he went to punch Spider-Man and Spider-Man caught it like nothing, and he was just like, whoa, like,
yeah, you are amazing.
Oh yeah, and the truck, they throws the truck right back at them. Like,
everything.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man was amazing in Civil War. I need to see Homecoming.
Homecoming is really good.
It comes out next week on DVD?
I think it's next week.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get Wonder Woman and Spider-Man and have a double whammer.
Yeah. Spider-Man Homecoming I loved so much because they do really good job.
A lot of
with
good
the bad guy. They do a lot of good job with the bad guy. They do a lot of good work with.
That's my main problem with Marvel movies is they never give the villain enough screen time, especially Ultron. I could not believe what they did with Ultron. I was like, you are fucking kidding me.
Yeah, they did a lot of good work too with the idea of like the dynamic between Iron Man and Peter Parker. Well, Peter Parker and Tony Stark in that thing, and then also the way they use Jon Favreau as Happy in that he's in, and he's hilarious in it. So they did a lot of good comedy, a lot of good drama.
In Homecoming,
in Homecoming. Like I had no complaints about Homecoming.
I can't wait to see it.
And it's
I missed so much in the summer. I'm really looking forward to The Mummy with Tom Cruise.
I just got sad. Conan just did a thing with Tom Cruise, actually, which I found really interesting. Tom Cruise has never done Conan in any of his iterations, right? And so he went to London and they shot a thing together, and Conan's waiting in the car, and then he gets in. He's like, "Oh, we're in the car," and he's like, "Cameras." He's like, "Are we doing like carpool karaoke?" And he's like, "No, that's James Corden's thing. We don't rip off James Corden's thing." He's like, "Oh, are we gonna go like for coffee, like comedians in car? We'll talk about comedy and stuff." He's like, "No, that's Jerry Seinfeld's thing." He's like, "Yeah, I like Jerry Seinfeld." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I just figured we go back to basics and we just drive." And then he's like, all right, let's do it.
Hell, right?
And he's like, "No," and he starts driving, and he's like, "It's weird being on like the other side of the road because they're in England, right?" And
Who's
like,
driving?
"Yeah."
Tom Cruise?
No, Conan.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, it'd probably be weird." And he's like, "Have you ever done it?" He's like, "No, never." And then he's like, "So do you have any questions?" He's like, shh, I just really need to concentrate on driving right now. And he's like, they're just sitting there quietly. And then he's like, "Well, I figured like I've got this new movie, American Made, coming out." And he's like, "No, just please, I'm just trying to just let me drive, okay?" Like, and it's basically the entire thing is just them driving
very
silently.
driving.
And then he's like, "Well, I've got this great story. Had this conversation I had with Jack Nicholson." He's like, "Why don't you just come on the show and tell us about it sometime?" He's like, "I'm just
trying to drive."
And it was the entire thing. He flew
Holy
up.
fuck! Look at that arm.
I know, like those ones. It's those poses and stuff. Are built just for Arnie to like have a like an ego moment.
Look at the sweat dripping off him.
So I had a little realization recently.
Was it existential?
Yeah, a little bit. No, I was like, after watching a couple of Arnie movies in a row, I had watched
When your boner finally died down.
It never stops. I've never not had a boner. I was born with one.
I was born hard, baby.
The tip of my penis came out 15 minutes after I did.
You came out backwards.
Yeah, that's true. But no, I watched Total Recall and The Running Man.
Fucking A.
And then I was thinking about this movie, and I'm like, he always has, even if they're not technically a love interest, the main female in all of his movies are always like these Latina ladies.
Hey, you're right.
And who did he illegitimately father a child with but his Latina?
He's got a thing for Latinas.
Yeah, and there's no way with his stroke that he doesn't.
Hey man,
that
I
he doesn't have
never
something to do
even
with
put that together.
Yeah, I just kept
Total
watching
Recall, Running Man, this one.
Yeah,
the girl that he's with, look at buddy seeing something out there.
Yeah.
Holy
then, like,
Jesus.
And then most other ones, he just doesn't have like a female love interest. Like, I mean, like True Lies is different.
Well, Commando was a black lady.
Yeah, half black because Tommy Chong
half Latino.
She's Canadian, so it doesn't all count anyways.
Wow.
So obvious, they just use the thermal scanner.
She tried this
thing.
one already. This is the second time,
Yeah.
Carl Weathers. For fuck's sakes, keep your eye on her.
Yeah, pay attention. I actually don't really know what her nationality is. I wasn't sure.
Guadalajara.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Thank you.
Guadalajara.
I knew because like it was supposed to be like a South American thing. She was like some kind of Mexican.
Did you see Bill Duke chewing right there?
No, I didn't.
He's chewing on his old razor.
Oh, I figured he stripped off a dried off piece of one of those skinned people. I really like when you build together all the mythos of Predator, like that he doesn't attack people who aren't armed, and he does like all that kind of stuff. Like
he's pretty cool.
It's a really,
except for when he teamed up with that girl in Alien versus Predator. Oh my god!
The enemy of the enemy is my friend.
Oh my fuck! Oh my god, Jesus, lady.
But I kind of, but I at the very least understood it because the whole point of them coming out in that thing, it's a rite of passage. They have to win.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, I'll take a little help.
Like if I'm gonna win.
Yeah,
it's
like
stupid movie.
Yeah, it's a neat idea
because they're intergalactic hunters. Yeah,
with all the pieces being put together and drawing people to this to then basically make the aliens so they could come down and kill the alien. Like it all fits. It just wasn't right.
I know, because like all we want to do is watch the Predator fight the aliens, and then they always have to do like. You know what I mean? There always has to be a human in the story to plod it along. Well, you know what I'm saying? Why can't I just watch the Predator in silence for 2 fucking hours and he fights aliens?
Because it would be mind-numbing.
No, it wouldn't.
It would absolutely. You don't think so, but it would be absolutely.
I will make the best fucking. Hey, isn't Robert Rodriguez making the next? No, you just said that. Wasn't he supposed to make a new one?
Not that I know of.
He was up for it. I'm telling you. Oh, here we go. Look at this.
That's possible.
Fuck. Oh, she just had her period.
So interesting things about the Predator. So that scene that we just saw, I was curious how they actually did that. So basically what they did is they had like a person in a red suit. who was there doing the action. And then they reshot the scene at a wider angle. So they used a different lens, but they shot the exact same shot again. And then when they put the two on top of each other, that's how you get that weird, like sort of
shimmery,
see-through outline. It stretches that out a little.
That is not true. I'll tell you the actual way they did it. Okay. They do three quarters of a circle mirrors. Okay. They cover the person in Vaseline, then wrap them in saran wrap. And you shine a light through the middle mirror.
Yeah.
And you get the person to stand there, and it looks just like that.
Perfect. That doesn't sound complicated.
The light bouncing off the mirrors does this weird thing with the saran. It's fucking amazing.
Nice.
That's why this movie only cost 17 million.
50
million.
It's just a pile of guts. That's
like his calling card.
Yeah. Just leaving guts. But the
you should have bent down and tasted it. That's Billy.
Yeah.
Or that's whoever, right? That's true. Yeah,
I'm not sure.
When going into battle, you should have to taste the blood of your teammates in case you have to taste it out there to tell whether their guts are theirs or not.
That's true. And you have like little sorbet packs so you can cleanse your palate beforehand. So you can really...
Exactly. That's your main thing in your kit too. Yeah. Just a bag full of sorbet.
So if you have to eat like roots and bugs to survive, that it doesn't like dilute the taste. You can dilute your
comrade's gut taste.
Yeah, right? Simple enough. But I think it's Hawkins. Well, it's a good guess, I guess, because I can't find Hawkins and here's a pile of guts.
He does look pretty badass with the scruff, eh? He's got a lot of gray going on. How old is he here, you think?
602.
Yeah, he's ageless, this man.
No, I don't know. He would have been like...
He was older when he showed up, though.
I'm thinking like late 30s here.
Yeah, I'm going to say early 40s.
Yeah, thereabouts, right? But, yeah, so a lot of stuff about the casting of Predator 2. We have discussed this before during our Bloodsport episode. Jean-Claude Van Damme originally cast as the Predator.
That's right.
Because they wanted him to be like all agile and jumping around and all this stuff. There are 3 totally different stories about why he was no longer the Predator.
Right.
His claim was that
the suit was too heavy.
Well, that's one problem. The original suit, because they literally were just putting him in a red suit that he would like jump around in and stuff, and it's like what you saw there,
right?
Where it was just like that. They basically like CG'd him out.
Whoa.
But he says Bloodsport came along, so he got himself fired from this to get on Bloodsport.
Right.
The studio says he was too short. He's 5'9", and they needed somebody who was something that was bigger and whatever.
Right.
So they went with this Kevin Peter Hall. Let me find that name just to make sure I'm
man, if I was Van Damme, I wouldn't want to be the Predator either.
Yeah, there you go. Well, when given the choice between being a lead, being a lead or being just like a faceless whatever, yeah. Absolutely.
When Van Damme demanded he get his own cut of the movie that contains 15% butt shots, the Predator's got no butt shots. No, you know what? I think the Predator does have a butt shot in this.
Yeah, but not his butt.
Not Van Damme's butt.
But the problem is. Look at that thing. My
you almost fell off, the big drunk bastard.
No. No, but...
that anaconda loves fresh buns.
So they hired Kevin Peter Hall, who was 7'2", played Harry in Harry and the Hendersons.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Todd and I had a conversation today because he's like, I almost bought Harry and the Hendersons. And I was like...
I stood there for like 20 minutes going like, should I?
The answer is no.
It was like 2 for $10.
It comes on TV all the time.
I know it does, but I was like, man, and the second you buy a movie too, it's on TV.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, what the shit?
Yeah, you'll be fine. But the no, you won't. But and then the studio said that, and then John McTiernan says
this is a good shot right
that he just didn't want to be this special effect in this movie, and he was really unhappy, and then they ended up parting ways.
But he was on the set like he was gonna be the Predator.
Yeah, he shot. There are scenes that he shot. There's a scene where
I always thought maybe I saw his dick before, but I think it's just the leaves above his feet there that kind of looks like a patch of pubes.
I think they did like a gut kind of thing, so I think all that area is kind of gone anyways. This is kind of amazing because like most of these guys' jobs is just kind of like these like, all you have to do is just walk into frame, look around a little bit, walk out of frame. It's like, then
look
what?
Badass.
Then what? He's like, get some sleep. They had to
eat some more big league chew.
Yeah, exactly. They had to slow down the speed of the.
This is right here. I never knew what the fuck just happened there.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's because he just killed the little guy.
Yeah.
Right? Is that what happened?
he
because
killed
Jesse
Hawkins,
Jesse the body's standing there. He's like sees this little cutie.
Yeah.
Turns around, then he gets sprayed with blood, then he gets blown open.
Yeah.
So I'm taking a wild guess that the Predator killed that little thing there first and then went to him.
I'm guessing. But, contact. But yeah.
Oh my God, he knows what to say. He just saw an alien, right?
No,
Contact.
Yeah.
This Bill Duke's on it today, man.
Yeah. He's aware.
Uh-oh.
The green blood. Originally, the blood was supposed to be orange, apparently.
This is the scene right here where I was asking, like, are they really taking down real woods here? Like, look at this.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you exactly what's occurring.
Fuck.
Because again, he's obviously not firing a real gun.
Isn't he?
And I like that he's like everybody just started like nobody knows what's going on. It's everybody fire.
Waste all your ammo.
Yeah, but anyways, the minigun they had to slow down by a third of its speed. A, because you couldn't see it spinning on camera, and B, because it saved them money on blanks. They would have used like 30% more blanks.
So many more. I want to shoot that so bad.
I know, eh?
Oh,
do you imagine how heavy that is? Because the backpack, it's run by an electrical thing, which they had to run down his pants. So basically, he's wearing this gun as a suit for
Dear God. It would you can make that would be cool to go as him as for cosplay and have the big minigun.
Could you imagine having to carry that around?
And when you fire the minigun, it shoots out buttons with Doctor Who's face on it.
Fuck.
What do you think of that?
Yeah, I don't like it. I frankly don't. Yeah, I don't want to have to carry anything. Like, could you imagine?
Even want to carry your own fucking wallet so you can pay for your goddamn Star Wars shit.
I usually don't. I just bring my debit card. I was like,
I don't. My wife does. She has a purse.
She wouldn't fucking come with me to Comic-Con.
Oh my God, Did I miss Comic-Con this year?
Yeah,
I was gonna be there, man. I was gonna dress up as Silk Spectre too.
Nice. That's very specific.
Fucking right, it is.
So yeah, Shane Black actually wrote the Last Boy Scout during his off time during this movie.
He did?
Yeah.
See, this is like people that are doing stuff. Look at this.
My mind is completely blown.
I can't believe that either. I never knew that. Sometimes things.
Well, he was nobody back then. Like to me, when we were kids, we didn't give a shit who wrote Monster Squad.
No, not at all. It's only later when you watch a shit ton of movies and you turn into some big fucking nerdo.
Well,
holy Jesus, man. Get a rag.
It's like
use your sleeve.
It's like he was dipped in Vaseline and then sprayed with it. Like sprayed with a
exactly.
Squirt gun
like
or
nothing's
something.
staying.
Oh.
Like Arnold's not even sweating for fuck's sakes. Bill Duke's giving her.
He is. He's just white. You can't see it. Nobody's nothing. I don't like that
guy.
He's
not sweating.
Why didn't they kill him first? The only reason they didn't kill him is because he's the only one who speaks Spanish for the girl, whose name is. I've got it written down.
Better get on the radio, buddy.
Her name's Elpida Carrillo.
I think Arnold does a good job in this too, man.
Everybody's good in this, but there's not a lot of necessity. Like there's not a lot of talk that needs to be done. You have to just. You just have to
kind of act the moment, right?
Yeah, it's like and. Like situations come up, like Arnie and Carl had to have that one conversation, and like everything else is just character development.
I got the old zip tie. That's like old school, or that's actually new school now. Now they're using these.
Yeah,
the police.
Well, I think the military have always been using them.
They have.
I'm guessing. Well, because again, you're trying to pack light, right? What's lighter than zip ties?
Handcuffs.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm bad at this.
But yeah, it's
don't have me pack your pack when you go off to fight your war.
I watched a great thing because there's a thing they've been like teaching, not self-defense per se, but kind of escapism from like kidnappers for kids. So it's like if you have your hands zip tied, it shows you how to like get out of zip ties that are on your hands. It's like you put your arms right up and you swing them down, and it's like that swinging motion pulls them right apart. But it showed a guy try to do it. It was on like America's Funniest Videos or whatever, and he did it, and he just like threw his arms down,
his wrists open,
directly 2 fists directly into his balls, and it was amazing.
I wonder. Yeah, that's a good thing to learn, man. Yeah. But then the bad guys can get out of it too.
And it showed
the bad guy kids.
Yeah, that's true.
They're learning.
You know, the ones you're always tying up.
Yeah.
But it's like that. It's that kind of thing where it's like, you know, if they tie you up and do this, this is how you can get out of it, and then you can try and make a run for it, right? As opposed to if you're tied up, you have no
training actually makes a lot of sense now in this day and age, which is fucked up.
Yeah, it is.
My eyes aren't as red as Bill Duke's yet, but I haven't been crying over Jesse. Not yet.
I'll never cry over Jesse because I ain't got time to tear. And I know there's actually a verb for that, but I just think it's better.
Tiered.
Tiered.
That's a past tense tier.
Tiered. It's like they didn't really establish enough that these guys were so close that this would really meant something.
No, I get it. He's all beaten up. We don't need, what are we supposed to see, a flashback or some shit?
No, but I mean, like, they didn't even talk in the helicopter.
Well, they're manly men. They're not the kind of guys that emote about
Well, but
things.
everybody else was talking. Like, there was, like, all these different, like, jokes or whatever.
They're friends in wartime, silent solidarity.
Like, they should have, like, he should have had one little, like, snide kind of, like, cocky, I remember when we were in, like, Juarez or whatever.
Sang chow.
And blah, blah, blah. And then he's just like, yeah. Like, that would have been enough for me. It just clearly, these guys go back in a direction that not everybody goes back in, and that would have been good enough. Here, I'm gonna bury you with your flask.
No, he should have been like, do you remember, like, saying chow? And he's like, I don't remember anything after, Fong Ladine. And he's like, yeah, I hear you, brother. Yeah? You're like, yeah. They've been in many wars together. She looks like she's got a nice set of titties on her.
Yeah.
Look at them dirty fingernails. That's how I like them.
But again, it's the only set of titties is always a nice set of titties.
That's true.
Yeah.
If you were in the jungle stuck forever with any woman, I'm sure her titties would be really, there he is.
Like, I would say nice rack to Jenna Elfman. I can't even tell you if she has nice titties or not. I'm
sure she would appreciate that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Look at this. He's fixing himself up. He's human too.
I had a big crush.
Well, not human, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. I like this.
Ooh, it's just what's it called? You get a cut and grandma puts it on there.
Oh,
it's just fucking like iodine. Yeah, it's iodine.
See, like, it's weird to me that their tools are so human.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. He just like mouse trapped his like wound.
He literally just like sealed it shut.
Yeah.
That would be, but I love the idea because they're so, in a way, like you just said, like, they're so human. They have like just this goal that they're trying to accomplish.
They're trophy hunters.
That's all they're doing.
What they are, right? I liked in Predator 2 when you got to see inside the ship and they had the alien skull. That's what kicked off that whole thing, right? Yes. Wasn't there an alien skull in there? That's
exactly right.
Yeah.
So Predator 2 had a lot of things going for it except the movie.
Gary Busey. I also really like the Predator, how he could change visors. Like, they're like, oh, he sees heat vision. Well, fuck you. We'll take the heat away. And then he's like, well, fuck you. I'm just going to beep, 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 beep. And now he's in like 8-bit.
Well, let's find it. In Predator 2, Predator had many vision modes. In this one, you only see the thermal POV because they couldn't really make the other ones. But there's actually things that suggest that he can use his other ones.
Right.
Because later he sees a tripwire, which you wouldn't see in a thermal scan.
You're right.
So he actually...
I just thought maybe after his loss, that later the Predators, obviously they have really good, technology, so they could have upped it after that. Like, oh, he died on this planet. This is the whole point. If he could,
But this is the whole point of, like, the whole rite of passage thing. It's either you're good enough or you're not. So if you're not, you just die.
Is that what he's doing here?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Well, this isn't like... I suppose it would be... And that, like, if you kind of exclude Alien versus Predator, which this movie clearly, like, didn't need to be thinking about because such a thing wasn't going to happen. But, it's basically he's going down there, but he's also, there's honor in the hunt and stuff like that. Like you said,
they got rules themselves.
He scans and he doesn't kill somebody if they don't have a weapon.
Right.
And he's like, I have to hunt
the tough one.
Yeah, so... I like that we're getting the subtitles right now.
He killed that little animal on the ground. That thing didn't have no weapon.
He looks like somebody too. I'm just trying to figure out who he is. He looks kind of like Jeremy Piven when he's got like his chin out like that and his jungle came alive.
You should have taken a picture of that.
I take enough pictures of me, but
all day.
All I do is just like if anywhere you hear me like in a bathroom, you just hear selfie.
He doesn't even say selfie. When he takes so many selfies now, there's like a voice thing that just comes on.
Yeah,
Jesus, it's hot in here.
Yeah,
this jungle's making me hot. All this man flesh sweating is getting me warmed up.
This would be my luck. I would finally get a movie and it's like, oh yeah, by the way, we're going into 140-degree jungle for the next...
I've been in the jungle, man. The Amazon rainforest, man. It was like the hottest fucking place in the world.
I know.
Fuck.
See, this is why I liked going to Vegas because it was hot.
My God. Could you be any sweatier, Bill Duke? He looks like a diamond. He looks like a blood diamond.
He looks like he looks like Twilight when the vampires are in the sunlight.
He's like reverse Twilight.
I'm a moonlight vampire.
That's right. Like, dear God,
He looks like a diamond. I'm so happy right now.
Fuck.
Okay, just based on how tired we are, because like we've been saying through the night, this is our second movie,
number 2.
Third episode that we've actually recorded though, because we did a coming attractions
Oh,
episode
yeah.
today. So we're very tired.
God.
So let's just listen to my eye squeak for a minute.
I like that.
That's
sounded
actually
dirty.
it's a weird thing.
That sounded like 2 mud skippers humping.
But you know
in
what?
the
Because
rain.
I didn't know that was weird until I
fuck.
realized nobody else could do it.
What?
Squeak my eye.
I'll fucking squeak my eye right now,
Yeah, you do it.
motherfucker. Squeak, 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 squeak.
You lying sack of shit. But
Let me try for real. Wait.
and I can only do my left eye. My
No,
right
I
eye
can't.
doesn't
I
do
can't
it.
do it. I
But
can't do it.
I went to my optometrist
think I
about it, and I asked her, and she's like, "I've never heard of that."
It's terrified. Did she start throwing up? You're like,
She
hey,
was-
go.
She was really weird. She was really weirded out by it. She's like, "That's not really a thing that exists," and she's like, "I don't think it's affecting your vision."
I hope you would have been like, doctor, listen to this. Am I dying? Like, yeah. It's freaking out.
No, but she hears it. She's got her back to me, and she hears it, so it like sounds like I'm just like madly fingering somebody.
Oh, it happens all the time in there. Yourself.
Yeah.
Where's
So,
the girl?
You did allude earlier to the Predator costume being heavy. When it was redesigned by Stan Winston, it actually weighed over 200 pounds. So
What?
Kevin Peter Hall, who is a 7'2" man and a big strong man in his own right, was not strong enough to be moving around in a way that would make the Predator
How the
agile.
fuck was that thing 200 pounds?
It's because it's a lot of layers of things. That's why it's so like beefy.
Holy fuck.
and
You
there's a
put
lot
it
of
on,
metal on it.
fucking buddy.
So what they did is whenever you see him like moving around, he's actually on a bungee rig. That's like basically, it's kind of like the same
like
way.
an Edge of Tomorrow or whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of the same way. Like if you were to like simulate, like, you know, they want to simulate you walking on the moon or something
Right.
like that. They're like, we're going to take some of the weight off of you so you would weigh what you would weigh in this scenario. So they just made it a little lighter for him and all that
Dear
stuff.
God.
But they said with everything on, and they said the head was really heavy because you like, in addition to obviously all the things that make up the costume, everything that makes up all the animatronics are built into the suit, right?
Yeah,
So
true
it's
that,
like,
Holy fuck.
so like he's probably got a thing on his back that's like 100 pounds that's just servos and shit that's gonna run his fucking gross mouth later.
Oh, yeah. And it's set up from day one. So
Yeah.
it's not like you can jam that in there later, like the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, they're making I think they're making an Edge of Tomorrow too.
That's interesting.
I loved that movie.
I thought it was quite good.
I thought it was awesome.
You really do have a hard on for Tom
I
Cruise,
don't make no bones about it. I fucking love Tom Cruise.
I like Tom Cruise a lot too. It's just like I do
No,
not
I
love. I know
love
that's what I'm saying. Is I
Tom
just
Cruise.
like even movies that aren't good, I always tend to like him in. I feel like he
does his own stunts.
All the bullshit aside, you can see he's putting all of his effort in
all the time.
And even if it's not like an actiony whatever, he's the producer.
He's giving
the
it.
this and he's the that. And it's
just
like
watching him in the last 3 Mission Impossibles is like he's holding his breath for like 3 minutes, man, for real.
See, this is the thing that gets me too, is like people talk about Fast and Furious and how they've improved, and they have. I actually
Yeah,
finally
the last one sucked.
But I finally got around to watching Fast 5, and I see what people
Was
were
that the one with
talking
Jason Statham?
about. No, that was the one when they were in Brazil. So it's the first one with The Rock.
Okay.
And it was the one where they said it finally got good, because the first one was what it was. Like,
Yeah.
people liked it because it was
Yeah.
cars and whatever. Too Fast, Too Furious kind of abandoned
Yeah.
everything. And then Tokyo Drift was basically
Oh
like
my God.
Halloween 3.
That's exactly what I was
Like-
just going to say.
Like, it's just like, it has nothing really to do with the other thing except for the fact that
I
except one
really
word.
liked the one with Jason Statham as the bad guy.
That was 7?
That movie was like nonstop action. It was awesome.
But like, so they have all these things and they're like, oh, it's heightening and they're doing this and it's crazy stunts. And I'm like, but Tom Cruise hung onto an airplane that took off.
Yes, for real.
I was like,
I tell people that,
that
they don't
wins.
believe me.
that wins.
I'm like,
every
it
time.
was like, and then in the Ghost Protocol where he's hanging
Yeah.
from the building,
yeah.
like, if you watch Rogue, the one where he's hanging off the plane, There's so many awesome stunts in there, like the motorcycle driving where they're going like 8,000 miles an hour, and you can see him. He goes around the corner so fast that his knee hits the ground, and that's him driving for real.
But even things that aren't that big too, like in Mission Impossible 3, where he's running, like it just balls out, and then the missile hits the one thing, and he goes flying into the other car.
And he's
like,
awesome.
That looks amazing. And then even just think about the first Mission Impossible, where he's just doing that hanging thing.
Yeah,
that's no easy task, and it's hard to make it look good and all that. And I was like,
all the stunt driving in Italy or wherever, that was him driving for real.
Yeah, so
he can hold his breath.
Yeah,
in the newest one where he goes in I don't know which one it was, but maybe not the newest. But he jumps into that tank and he's got to hold his breath.
Is it a single shot?
Usually, a lot of it is a big long shot.
Yeah.
But they said usually when you're underwater, they film in like 30-second intervals.
Yeah.
He can hold it. He literally went to wherever they do to train, where he free dived, divined, and he learned how to hold his breath for like 2 minutes and 40 seconds or something. Wow. Like, honest to God. So they're filming underwater in like somewhere in the range of 3 minutes.
Yeah.
They're filming, and most of it is one shot.
Yeah. That's like astronaut stuff. That's why I can't wait.
The guy, he's unfucking real.
Yeah, I know. So I can't wait for they're doing like a mini series of the right stuff, and that was a big scene in the right stuff when all
Or am I thinking Chariots of Fire?
I think it's Chariots of Fire. The right stuff is all the guys who are
That's
training
a space
to be like
movie.
The first astronauts. Yeah,
that's a 2 VHSer.
No,
right?
I don't think so. But it was like.
Are you sure that movie's not hella long? Didn't it win a bunch of Oscars?
Yeah, I think so. But it's got like you got like Ed Harris, and you got
I like that.
lots of good people in that movie. But the but the whole idea, there was the one thing, because it was them being all competitive with each other, and one of them was a breath holding thing, but it wasn't even a breath holding thing. It was you're blowing out. The whole time, and it's all these guys like having this competition where they're all constantly exhaling, and it was like a minute 40 or something like that of breathing
pass out.
So yeah, it was, and that was it. Like people were getting dizzy, and they'd be like whatever, and then they went down to like 2 guys, and they're still just going like, and you're like, oh my god.
Holy
and
fuck.
I mean, like, wasn't those guys really doing that? But I'm thinking of the concept of the guys who actually could.
That's a lot of breath, yo.
Yeah.
That's who you want blowing up your party balloons.
Yeah.
You want all wheezy here. Like passing out one borough.
I got so mad. Nobody reacted nearly hard enough to this. You're just speaking English now? Like we've been going through,
and you're pretty fucking good too.
We've been going through some serious shit, and I think you could have trusted us with the fact that you habla español or habla inglés.
No inglés.
Like
no inglés.
Oh man.
Where's the cereal? No inglés.
See, this is like almost the definition of white people problems. You hear like these kind of stories, and I know this one's for this action movie, but this is like the kind of thing you go to like places in, real, like you go to Mexico and you go to like real Mexico, not like tourist Mexico, and you go in there and it's like, oh yeah, well, sometimes, your family just gets killed by a drug cartel, and it's just kind of what happens. And you're like, oh,
I ran out of ketchup.
Yeah. I was like the big box of Chex Mix wasn't there, so I had to get the little box, and it's really just a waste of money.
Like, why did it even go? The whole day is ruined.
Yeah.
You're right, the white people. But I don't think you really use it in the context of The Predator, because these white people are really up in some shit here.
Yeah. No, it's true.
Like, it's just the Predators are white people problems. The Predator's after me.
There's
in the woods.
There's a scene that we just saw. There was one that was really grainy, but every now and again you'll see a couple of shots that are really grainy up against shots that are really clear.
Ooh. And
it's because they had 2 cameras rolling, and one of the cameras had the wrong film stock.
No shit.
To make them look alike, the one became a little more overdeveloped and got a little grainy, which is why it goes back and
just
forth.
Suddenly there, right?
Yeah.
This is cool.
Yeah. This is actually one of the few where I actually got a lot of filmmaking trivia, as opposed to just like, oh, these guys,
All right.
These guys played a lot of snooker when they're off time.
That's a good. Fuck, man. That's good trivia.
Who plays snooker? Nobody.
Oh, fuck. I got to make that shirt.
Yeah, you do.
Shit, John, I got a shirt for you, buddy. By the time
this episode comes out, you'll probably have it.
Yeah.
Because this is like a November episode.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No. Way after that.
So, yeah.
Holy shit. He was right there.
Merry Christmas, John. Here's an IOU for a shirt. It's coming.
You make the shirt.
Yeah.
Send me the receipt. in increments. Send you a buck or two overtime.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, if there's your shirt, you want a contest? Hey.
Yeah. Whenever I get change, like whenever I pay with cash and get some change, I'll mail it to you.
Yeah. Oh fuck yeah! Look at him go, the
So,
blurry son of a bitch.
That's actually a shot that they used, but they to get him to swing from tree to tree and stuff because they wanted him to like really swing around like a monkey. They literally put a monkey in the red suit.
For real.
And then the monkey
lost him.
The monkey just kept ripping off the suit though. So they're like, okay, we're gonna just go ahead and abandon this, and he's just gonna jump.
A monkey in the suit.
Yeah. Get through the
did he get smoked by the thing?
Yeah. Dude.
Oh man, he's fucking like, fuck it, man. I know I done wrong.
I want to meet him really badly. Like, I want him to come to a Comic-Con so bad.
Who?
Carl Weathers.
Carl?
Yeah. Like,
Carl.
Arnie and Sylvester, they are beyond my scope of who I think is going to show. Like, I don't even want to think about it. And I don't want to think about what it would cost.
How much do you think Arnold Schwarzenegger's autograph would cost?
$250.
I'd pay it.
I would have to see.
Literally the only person I would pay to get an autograph from would be Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I would have to see how.
You better get a picture and a photo.
Well, for that you're not. That would be $250 for the autograph, or then another $250 for the photo.
But you really did. Like, would Arnold really need the money?
No.
Don't you think Arnold could just show up and sign and take pictures and shit?
He could, but it's not about whether or not you need the money. It's about the time. It's like, my time is worth this.
Well, that's fucking bullshit.
And that's just what it is. It's like, I could be doing, like, I could easily go out and make this much money. So even if I make it, so it's like charitable for me to come here and even make less money.
Right.
Even though it's
I'm still doing you a favor.
Yeah. In its own way. Right. So it's like, it's a crazy thing, but I would have to see how he like react. Cause I've told the stories before about how, Sylvester Stallone has been known to go on those things where he doesn't even like speak to you. He just like walks up and he just signs the thing and just hands it to you, and then you just walk away, and that cost you $200.
Thanks,
and it's like,
Stallone.
like, would it kill you to say like I don't need to have a freaking 10-minute conversation?
Yeah, but hey, how are you?
Hi, how are you? What's your name? Blah blah blah. Like no personalized anything either. Too.
We're not these guys. I was just gonna be like, I'd be so good. I'd be talking and signing. Some of them are really good though. Some of the stars are just like, okay, I'm gonna go now. Like, no, hey, I'm Ryan Seacrest.
And do you know why? Because they get it. I'll tell you somebody who gets it better than anybody.
The Rock.
The Rock's a good one, but Nathan Fillion and Stephen Amell. Nathan Fillion from like Firefly and all that stuff.
I
Stephen
love that
Fry,
man.
who is
apparently he's a real dick though, I heard.
See, but it must be in different contexts.
Yeah,
because
not to the fans, to like the people he works with.
I could care less.
Yeah, me too.
He's not.
I don't
working.
give a fuck.
He's not working with me. So I like over there by them tree. Look at. They are.
Holy Lord. Look at that, eh?
Like, Carl Weathers is not a light-skinned man, but, like, he's so
Who's
dark.
that white guy next to Bill Duke?
He's so dark, he looks like Al Jolson in black and the shoe-polished blackface. Like, it's so dark.
I like that.
I know, it's good, though.
I like women that are that black.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, like that
Grace
Lupita Nyong'o or whatever?
Yeah.
God damn.
Nice. But, anyways, what
the
was
blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
But the, what was I saying about things?
I say juice, I mean Jews.
Juice, yeah, there you go. The, what was it? Nathan Fillion and Stephen Amell. So Stephen Amell and
Arrow.
They interact with their fans so crazy, and they have a lot of fun with the pictures and doing all these things that people want to come back and see them, are happy to see them in new projects,
right.
Even if it's a small thing. They're like, look, he's got a 3-episode arc in Modern Family. So people who don't watch Modern Family are going to watch.
I like Modern Family.
I do too.
I think it's funny,
and I thought he was great in that. And then Stephen Amell, the same thing. Like, he's shouldn't be a big star, but people go crazy for him, which got him the Ninja Turtles movie as when he played Casey Jones.
That's right. Yeah, he did great when he went to wrestling. He fought in a match. He did really good, man.
And he did American.
He jumped off the top rope and landed on the guys on the outside and everything.
He did American Ninja Warrior for Red Nose Day.
Oh, that's right. How did he do? He finished it?
He like everybody else, because like they couldn't do this stuff. They were able to tag in their ninja counterpart who would do like one of the hard ones, and then they'd come back on and go to the next easy one.
Did he do the wall?
He did the entire first bit, which I believe included the wall, and then he went to the next step and did the salmon ladder, which wasn't even part of what they had to do.
So he did the whole thing.
So he did the whole thing plus one.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive, actually.
Yeah, man. Like, he was, and like, but that's the thing, and it's like the way they interact, and they don't charge like and they don't charge a crazy amount of money.
Shit, hold on. Put on your 3D glasses. Fuck.
Oh.
Just missed it. Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
Well, you purchased the glasses for nothing, I guess.
Now, here's the thing. Now, maybe just
Predator crotch shot.
Maybe just being a soldier, you might be able to figure this out. If there's like a weird light on you, that would probably denote some kind of sniper gun.
Yeah,
or
why
something
would
like that.
you?
I'm just going to put my head in the middle of this to see what's going on.
That doesn't go on my arm. That goes right here.
But that's what I'm saying is if you, at even this level, want to, like, you know, like it helps your career outwardly because people will support you in whatever you do.
Word
but
of
then
mouth,
on top of
man.
that, people will come back for you. I've like heard of people that come to these Comic-Cons, and even people who aren't huge people, and they're like, oh man, I've already gotten, like, Tara Reid is somebody, like, I've seen people go, yeah, I've gotten her autograph 3 times. It's like, because
And they
she
pay
treats
each time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you don't get like a card where it goes,
Oh my god! Like,
you don't get a card saying,
I got
I'm
9
entitled to your autograph.
stamps.
Yeah.
This one's free, Tara.
Yeah.
How much is Tara? Well, it's only $12 anyways for her autograph.
It's not much, but it's
her
but that's what I'm-
acting
Yeah.
in the Sharknado movies is like, oh my
It
god!
is-
I love the new Sharknado movie.
oh,
That
they're
was
great.
fucking awesome.
It's great, but they're mega atrocious. Where's the giant hole in his head that was clearly
I
shot?
didn't see it. It was covered with
Well, no,
gore.
but well, again, it's all darkness.
Yeah.
But but like that's what I'm saying is
Oh,
you
fuck.
you can create, like, they basically create a brand for themselves where they can go to the, like, anytime they've just got some free time. It's like, oh, I'll just go do a couple of Wizard cons.
Yeah, Bruce
or
Campbell's
whatever,
pretty
right?
cool to his fans too.
Yeah, and like Freddie.
It's always like the B movie
well,
actors
like-
and the TV guys.
Like I met Freddy Krueger. I'll see if I can sneak in and go find the photo.
Didn't he
after.
slash your sister a little bit or
He
something?
poked her a little because he had the glove on. I'll grab the photo out for you to
That's
see after.
awesome.
But it's super nice. It was very fast. Like,
But he
because
was a cool guy,
because he
right?
was trying to get through because his line came late because the previous person was late and all that. And it became a
Right.
big thing. So he was trying to get through so everybody could get
Oh fuck, he's still shooting.
their stuff. But the
That's a good looking severed arm.
yeah, it is good, and it's because it's like jiggly and like it was
The gun's jiggling it.
yeah. But the
Oh fuck.
yeah, and that's anyways, like I said, the one
Yeah, the
thing that's just
Kroogs.
really losing out is
Look at that.
like your Schwarzeneggers and stuff like that, because they don't need your support because they've already got the money and they've already got all that stuff.
But
so
you'd
what do
think that they
care?
would show up though, just to be like,
You would
just
think,
to walk. Arnold just
Yeah.
walks through, shakes a couple hands, so everybody can be like, "Holy fuck, Arnold Schwarzenegger walked through!" Right?
it would be
Like,
amazing, but like it's like even
But
Kevin
their
Smith,
schedules are fucked, right?
That's
like,
another
their
big-
schedules are crazy,
and that's why their time is worth so much money, because this is my free time. I cannot
fuck.
do this and be fine, right? This isn't a part of my required income. It's like I could be sitting at home smoking a cigar right now, as opposed to like
be
flying out
diddling
to-
my nanny for Christ's sakes, and I'm here.
Yeah, exactly. Divorcing Skeletor, my wife.
They both got that strong jaw. Eh? He needs a lady with a strong Spanish
They
jaw.
sure do.
Look at
I just question why. That is one of the most badass knives I've ever seen.
I have the same knife. It spits out raspberry jam.
Nice.
So you can do things like he's about to do right now. Like this right here. I do this every day on my porch.
Like he's not putting.
You
any
press a
real-
button and then boom, jam.
Like I know, obviously that's a prop thing. That's
It's a jam
squirting out
knife.
Jam, but I just think that I felt like he should have been putting a little bit more pressure on. Like he was
It's
actually cutting
super
himself.
sharp. Ooh, I had a
Yeah.
little grumble bumble.
Rumbly.
Ooh.
There's a rumbly in my tumbly.
Oh. This guy's badass. This guy's like, fuck this. He's like, I know you're going to kill me anyway, so get the fuck out here and just get it over with, you motherfuck.
Yeah, it's really good. And there was a lot of rumor that apparently they cut his death because it was too gruesome.
Really?
But it never happened.
Oh.
They never shot a
I like
scene.
that. I like just hearing a scream
Yeah.
because you know he's so close, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but they never shot a scene of his death. It was always intended.
Ooh. Oh, I
Boom.
thought he made it. I forgot. You just got shot in the brain.
Yeah.
Don't pick that gun up. Arnold's onto it, right?
Yeah, he figured
Arnold's onto it.
he figured it out. Oh,
Look at
he's
his-
got his
Oh!
yeah, that
He's got his
face.
no face on. You've
See-
got your O face. Arnold's got his no face.
I wonder because if you see the outline of the Predator,
Wait,
it doesn't.
wait.
There you go. Get to
Okay,
the
there you go.
top.
Okay, continue. Sorry.
But no, it's fine. I really
That
hope-
is probably, is that his number one line, you think, other than
He says it's his favorite. I'll be back's definitely his number.
is
one.
number one? But everybody says get to the chopper.
Yeah, I would say my top three are Get to the Chopper, I'll Be Back, and The Bridge Is Out.
Yeah, I do. The bridges out was pretty good.
I do the bridges out constantly because the Skyway is always closed. And I'm like, the bridge is out. And then I go down and then the other bridge is up. So I go, the bridge is up.
Did you
notice?
It
takes me 40 extra minutes to get to work.
As Arnold's arm is seemingly okay. Like he just blew off Carl Weathers' arm.
Yeah.
With that beam. But it didn't blow Arnold's off.
He got winged.
But it looked like he got hit Arnold in the shoulder.
Yeah.
It looked like he got Carl Weathers more near the elbow.
Yeah. His stunt double blew out his knee doing this.
Really?
Yeah. His stunt double actually...
There's the grainy again.
Yeah. Assuming that this is the same stunt double that he had like going forward with like Terminator 2 and that sort of stuff. He had a show that we used to air on the Movie Network in Canada. I'm sure you had the same thing in like HBO or something like that in the States. And he would like recreate stunts or like create these gags and stuff like that. That would but that was his whole thing. He's like, I was Schwarzenegger's stunt double. Now I do this, and they just like make a gag, but they're never that good because they don't have a budget. Like the show doesn't have a budget, so it's like we're gonna flip this car and do this, but then there's nothing that really happens. It just kind of like the car just flips over, and then they're like, "You all right?" And he's like, "Okay." Yeah. And then he's like, "All right, woo, we did it."
Say this box is the car.
Yeah.
Right. Is this a set?
No. This everything was shot in Mexico.
Oh, it looks like this is the kind of.
This is the Goonies set where the boat comes out.
Oh my God, Chester Copperpot.
But
run for it. You know what I like about this movie too is Arnold gets his fucking ass handed to him. He gets the shit kicked out of him.
This is, I would say, my top 3 favorite Arnie movies.
I would agree.
I would say this, Terminator 2, and True Lies are my favorite 3.
I would say Terminator 2, this, and Total Recall.
Ooh, yeah.
And then True Lies.
Yeah, like Total Recall and The Running Man are close for me, but they're like bad good ones.
Oh, he still got the scar in his arm. Good, yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think it does look like a wing job.
Yeah,
fuck.
Yeah, what just fell? And then you see it's just like a piece of wood, and he's like, "Oh, okay."
This is wicked. I forgot about this. This is awesome. What a good idea.
But what was interesting, MythBusters tested this. Does not work.
What doesn't? Oh, for heat. Yeah. We don't know. Come on.
Yeah. Well, no, they definitively figured it out.
No, I mean, come on, right? Like, fuck.
Who cares?
It's a movie. For fuck's sake.
But it was just something that
ain't even a myth. They're not even busting myths.
No.
They're busting like movie. That's not a myth.
No.
You know what I mean? Like a movie, something happened in a movie. Could Luke and Leia really swing across? Like who cares? It's a fucking movie.
Yeah, that's not a myth. I do take the one part of this to be a myth, which is that and it's what they broke it down to. It's would this happen in the movie? But what they break it down to is can you trick a
predator?
No, not a predator. A thermal scan. Can you trick a thermal scan? And they tried a bunch of things, but they're like, yeah, you can put that cold mud on you, but your body will just warm up. It's like you won't be able to see it for a second, but then your like body will heat up the mud. It's really cold. That being said, for a poor person who's got that mud all over him, it's actually like pottery clay all over him instead of mud. And it was so cold with the water and then the actual temperature and stuff like that. He is, they called that the parrot gun on set, but he was so cold it was dropping his temperature. They said he was like flat out. They said like when it wasn't shooting, they were just flat out shivering because like his body temperature.
See, maybe he wouldn't see him then.
Well, no, because to not see him, it would have to be like 0 degrees. Like,
well,
it would have to not have a body temperature whatsoever, not be just slightly lower. But
is that Buddy's spine he took? That's somebody. Did you notice that at the back of him?
No, I didn't.
He had a spine or something hanging off the back.
I saw he had like a backpack thing
or something. Yeah,
I don't know. But so they had this stuff on him, so they were trying to make him warm. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. It does look like he has one. But
thanks for telling me that, Arnold.
Like he easily could have figured all that just by his reaction, like going, "Oh, mud." But yeah, so they were trying to find ways to make him warm. So they put on these big like heat lamps where he could get under between shots and stuff like that. But it just dried out the mud. So then they couldn't do that because he had to be wet. So then they started giving him this like brandy mixture to keep him warm. And then he would just get drunk. So they're like, you're just going to have to deal with this.
This Arnold loaded on set fighting the friggin' Native American crazy guy.
You get to the chopper.
I'd like to see a drunken, rambling Arnold.
I feel like
how much drinks it takes to get loaded.
I don't know.
Like if he doesn't drink a lot, I'm sure it wouldn't be that much, but he's a pretty big dude.
Yeah. I feel like he's very much a my body as a temple type thing. So
well,
I mean,
not
like
all them cigars he's chomping on all the time.
Yeah, I know, but that's like a stat. I don't know. I think that's like a status thing, maybe. Where's he
He
getting
still
all these
loves the cigars.
Yeah. Well, actually, I've got this in here too. Carl Weathers claims that he got him addicted to cigars. That Schwarzenegger got him addicted to cigars while shooting this. Because again, he was an athlete. Carl Weathers was like a football player and all that stuff, right? So he never touched any of that stuff. And he's like, "Come on, just have a cigar with me, right?" And he's like, so he has a cigar.
Fucking Arnold.
And he's like, the next day he got like a box of cigars from him, and he's just like, "You." And so this was like 20 years later, and he's like, "Yeah, I still smoke cigars.
Still smoke cigars because that bad apple, Arnold Schwarzenegger."
Yeah. He's really working hard. They tried really hard to give him to make some traps before, but now he's working a million times harder to make way better traps.
Well, because now he knows what kind of traps he needs.
Yeah, but wouldn't you have wanted, like, were they trying to get answers out of the thing before? Let's get a net so we can talk.
Yeah. Well, they don't know what they're dealing with, right? They just try. Oh, fuck. There he is.
They just killed. He's getting that guy's spine. But he just killed.
Jesus.
Yeah, they just killed like 50 like drug dealer dudes without questioning a single one of them. So I feel
awesome looking.
Oh, it's so gross.
Oh, he's got his like taxidermy kit with him.
Yeah.
He's got everything on him in there.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's probably why it was 200 pounds, right?
Fucking right. He's got the sewing machine. He's got the water, got some beef jerky in there.
Yeah. What was interesting, the mandibles that Predator has, the little sideways
mandible claw your ass.
Don't mandible claw me. But like the sideways pincer kind of things. That was actually Jim Cameron's idea.
Oh, that right there?
No, the sideways, the little mandible pincer things. That
was James Cameron's idea?
Yeah.
How did he have a say in this movie?
Because Stan Winston designed it, so they were probably talking at some
James Cameron's probably just hanging out there.
Yeah. Well, that's all he does. What kind of technology is new now? I've got to wait for 30 years.
Yeah.
He's like, is the technology ready for me to make my movie yet? No. Is the technology ready for me to make my movie? No.
Apparently they're all pissed off. The Wonder Woman lady, the lady who directed Wonder Woman, is really pissed off with him because he made some disparaging remarks about how like the Wonder Woman movie is bad for like the women's lib movement and stuff.
Yeah, he said
something, right? Something like that.
Well, he's basically coming in as the authority on making strong women and things.
Yeah.
I say this, and then it was like, well, how was that bad? He's like, well, she's dressed all sexy. I'm like, she's leading men into battle, and she's brave, and she won't give up even when her family, like what everybody else will. People who are more capable in battle and stuff than her won't go. I was like, there's nothing wrong with her. I was like, I think we're in a great place right now.
I think there's a lot wrong. Her boobs should have been way bigger.
That's true. Well, actually, and if you're thinking about Amazons, she should have only had one boob.
You're right, because they chop one off for the arrow, the bow and arrow, right?
That's right, baby. But
she always had two boobs though. Wonder Woman.
Well, because Linda Carter wasn't brave enough to chop off a titty.
What a wimp!
I know, right?
What a fucking wimp!
No, it's just like I think we're in a good time now from an entertainment perspective. Like, I'm not saying, oh, hey, like women in movies is all done, but I'm like, there are so many characters on TV. Like, I'm just thinking as a father now to a daughter that have good.
Like females is
like Brave's a good example. It's like she's not looking to get married to the next guy. She wants to be individual and live her own life.
Right. It took a long time for movies to get to this point.
And that's what I'm saying is like we're finally at a pretty decent point, right?
That's probably why they all suck now.
I disagree. I don't think that they suck. It's just I think that you're older now and you don't have any stake in it.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
So it's like, you
know, maybe we're just at that time period where I'm like, this all blows.
But right now it's like, now I'm not seeing it as a kid anymore. Now I'm not seeing it as just some grown up. I'm seeing it as, well, I'm watching it through my kids' eyes and seeing what that would mean to them. And
I just hate how it got it. It got a little too wimpy for me.
Yeah. So
everything's too left. Everything's gone way too left. Like you can't say one fucking thing anymore without somebody like, blah, blah, blah. Can't put anything in a movie. No more stereotypes. No more. Where's the tits, man? Where's all the boobs in the movies?
They're still happening.
No, girls don't even want to take their tops off in a movie because they're more than that. See, that's the problem.
That's the problem.
You know, we let them vote. We let them do all this stuff. And now they're like, we're equal to you. You don't have to show your dick off in this movie. Why do I have to show my boobs? And boom, your whole movie's ruined.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
But now they've just moved it to TV, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, there is a lot of nudity. Well, TV has become more. TV has become like more complicated storylines, better characters. Like HBO did that, man. HBO started that whole thing, in my opinion.
HBO, well, and it's the simplest thing to me. I actually got into a bit of a fight online. Glad.
That's not how you spell Boba Fett.
No. This wasn't a nerd one. This was
if you're arguing with somebody over the computer, it's a nerd one.
I knew right away that I should have just kept my mouth shut. But it was a thing where Glad basically said that they should make
Glad garbage bags.
Yes, yes, Glad garbage bag. They said that they should make Wonder Woman bisexual.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm reading all the angry, well, don't make this a libtard thing and blah blah blah, and I'm like, that's not the argument you should be having. I was like, there's no good reason to say don't make her this.
Yeah, well, just go with the source material. Is Wonder Woman bisexual?
Yes, and then there was apparently in the 60s, there was some storyline where she was, but all that aside, all I said was it should be up to the people who are making the movie to make the decision, and then it is up to
and then in brackets you put I hate lesbians.
Yes. No, and then it is up to Glad to then go ahead and say, hey, you know what? I disagree with, I think they're underrepresenting this, or I think they're doing that. That is where the rights of any special interest group come into play. It's like, these are, because that's their right to say, look, I think that you are not doing, are doing a disservice to our group.
Right.
And then it's like, you go ahead and deal with that any way you want to deal with that. In the meantime, we can choose to condemn you. We can choose to, and that's great. And that's how it works. And that's great. But to come out and say, hey, you need to change this aspect of your movie. I was like, well, go write the movie then. If it means that much to you, you go write the movie. But you can't write the movie. So let them do it.
Right.
And if they don't do it to the way you like it, then go ahead and say, hey, this is not what we're supporting. We're going to support this one that is doing that kind of thing.
Right.
Right. And that's,
who was this person you're arguing with?
It was just, again, it was some random person who then came up to me and said, they're just trying to be inclusive. I'm like, I'm not saying don't be inclusive. I'm saying let them make that decision. If you're not happy with it.
So every time you write a movie now, you got to have a tranny. You got to have every type of sexually represented character. Like, come on.
No, and that's the thing. And it's like, and that was my whole thing. I'm like, you don't hear like the NAACP saying there weren't enough black people in the movie.
I know right, exactly.
Right, and it's like, and sometimes they have legitimate gripes on some things. Friends, for example, Seinfeld.
Yeah, there was there any black people on Friends?
Ross's one girlfriend was played by
Aisha Tyler. I just saw there, and that's funny that you say that. I just saw that episode. Well, I didn't watch the episode because I fucking hate Friends.
Well, she was in several episodes, but it was like the.
I don't hate it. I say that. I pretend that I hate it, and then I laugh like through the whole episode, hating myself.
I like Friends. It's simple. It's a simple laugh. Like, it's not, on my top tier.
So grosses me out.
But that's what I'm saying. It's anybody's right.
200 pounds. Look at him jumping around at 200 pounds.
Again, and you can tell that he's on things because you can see the way he's moving. He's
kind of floaty.
It's lumbered but floating.
But yeah, like when he jumped, it looks cool though. I think it looks kind of cool.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was
fuck.
So yeah, that was my big gripe though, is I am very much, and again, because Todd and I, find ourselves in creative endeavors, I don't want to be told what I have to do, but it's completely up to you.
I like that, in creative endeavors.
Yeah.
I like that.
But it is completely up to you to decide whether or not what I am doing is the kind of thing you want to support.
Right.
And if you don't want to support it, because I've said something that doesn't line up with, your way of thinking.
I can't see that happening.
Yeah, I know, right? No, but like, and that's everybody's right. And I do apologize in that case, because that's not our goal. Did I spit on you?
No.
Okay. And that's not our goal, and we would never want to do that. And just like I think that Wonder Woman's not trying to upset the LGBTQ community.
I think that's the whole reason the movie was made.
Right? And it's like, I don't know. It kind of drove me nuts.
Well, because a lot of these groups, they're just like looking for something, though.
Yeah.
I can't say a lot of these groups. No. When you hear something like that, like you're upset about Wonder Woman, like why?
It was just so specific. I was like, why are you barking an order of like such specificity? I'm totally on board with you saying, hey, you know what? like, I feel like there could be some kind of representation of the LGBTQ community in here. You live in a world where it's all women and it's like this kind of thing. It just seems to be.
Some of them
and she did, and she did allude a little bit already to bisexuality, because she says in Wonder Woman, I know you haven't seen it yet, but she says, like, in a thing that basically in her studies, they realize that for pleasure purposes, men are completely useless,
just like everything else,
right? And it's like,
and they're Amazon, they can open their own jars, they're really tall, they don't need us to reach things. Like, we're totally obsolete.
Yeah, exactly. So, but like, and yeah, so it was just one of those things. It just got way too specific for me.
Maybe she'll help me move. Maybe Wonder Woman will drive me to the airport
in her invisible jet.
Yeah,
so you don't even need to go to the airport. She'll fly you.
Fucking right on.
I hope that's something. See, that's something. And I'm the same way too, and that's another thing too. I'm the same way with the nerds, where they're like, you need to include this aspect from this storyline or whatever. No, they don't. Last I checked, they have the rights.
Yeah.
And it was like, and even
when they make really stupid, awful decisions, that's still their right to make that decision.
And as a representative of the nerd community, you have every right to not watch it.
I just hate when they want everything to be like verbatim from this. So it's like, what's the point then?
Yeah, exactly.
What's the point?
Go read that comic.
Exactly. Why are you going to make it like, look at his eyeballs glowing in the dark there.
Oh my God.
It looks like something out of The Simpsons when they turn the lights off, man.
Is that Bill Duke? But yeah, anyways, sorry. I didn't mean to get into a whole diatribe thing, but yeah, I had this one guy constantly, and I don't know if he was just trolling or whatever, but like, I didn't get a lot of people, and then I got a bunch of likes, and then I was kind of like, after this guy said like, oh, you just a homophobe or whatever type thing, and I'm like, oh, I hope they're not liking this for the wrong reasons now. And then I'm like, I should have, and it just made me completely regret getting involved in the conversation, because I felt like my stance was really clear.
Well, people will convolute it. They will, like a lot of these people will just, the second you say something, they are offended, but they were going to be offended and find something to be offended at regardless. And then like, you shouldn't feed the trolls, bro. Don't feed the trolls.
And then because then there was one who goes, oh, just get your Sharia law. And I'm like, what the hell? And then I'm like, okay, you're clearly just being a troll. And I'm like, so now I'm done. I'm done. I was like,
this is why I don't go online.
Yeah.
All this craziness.
Yeah.
Well, I go online. I'm like, hey, are you under 12? Meet me in the woods behind the Kmart. Done. Yeah. Like, it's so fast, you know?
Bring muffins. Ooh, it's a very good thing for him that those spikes were exactly the length of his neck, or the width of his neck.
I think he just did that as like here we go. Here we go.
So good. And
holy shit.
And that was good. And I think this was a good decision of them to make him a taller character. Like, and again, I don't believe that the studio was like, oh, you're too short, Van Damme, we're going to replace you with somebody taller. I think that he was done. He was done with the thing, and then they were like, okay, we're parting ways with him. They're like, well, how are we going to replace him? They're like, we should go bigger.
Yeah, make him big.
And when it comes down to this one-on-one, then it becomes a lot more necessary, because when you're finally facing off, then you need that, because otherwise it would just be like, you would have to be constantly just jumping around the trees, and then you never
This is that. Like one of the coolest moments in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Holy fuck.
This also created one of my biggest pieces of confusion in
how he's breathing.
Film. No, was when we watched this on TV one time,
Arnold,
and he says the great line here where he says, "You're one ugly motherfucker," in just a moment. But then when we watched it on TV, it was, "You're one ugly fucker," and they took out mother, and we were like, why is that the problem?
The City TV used to do that all the time.
Yeah, and it was,
it was City. No,
yeah, well, it was them. But it was actually,
it's okay to be a fucker, not a motherfucker.
Yeah, and that's it. Well, it's because like everything had a rank. It was kind of like the old 7 words you can't say on TV, except it got to like 750 words.
Look at that. That still holds up.
Oh yeah. I would love to get one of the...
oh, man.
I look on the Sideshow collectibles all the time for like the hot toys and stuff like that, and they've got a Predator.
Dude, I don't know whether I told this story on here.
I don't know.
But I was walking down when you go down St. Paul Street and over the bridge?
Yeah.
And you're like almost in Merritton or whatever? Yeah. Not Merritton, sorry. I don't know whatever the hell it is. West St. Paul Street or whatever the crap, right? And that new flea market is there. I was drunk as hell, and I was walking down the street, and there used to be like a special effects company or a bunch of dudes that made masks and shit.
Yeah.
Like right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was walking down the street, and like as good as this looks, the Predator was on the coming down the street from me.
Yeah.
And I'm like loaded to shit. And I'm like, dude, I was like, I think that's the Predator. And as he gets closer and closer, I'm like, oh my God. And it was like this. It looked just like this guy.
Oh yeah.
And then he looks at me and he roars and the mouth opened up and everything. And I was like, oh my, and I literally crossed to the other side of the street and walked opposite him. I was like, I am not passing by the Predator, man. Nice. I was like, and he looked perfect.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool. I think I now that you're mentioning that, I think I may have seen a photo of that, like from a Comic-Con or something.
Oh yeah, I just remember being like, contest. Holy shit. And it was like the middle of the night. The Predator's walking down the street. That's why I was like, fuck this.
That's crazy.
Arnold's getting his ass handed to him right now.
Yeah. So yeah, this is good too. It's one of the very few times when Arnie is not like, usually Arnie fights are just him locking shoulders with another big dude and they push each other around till one of them pushes him into something sharp and they're dead. Like that's pretty much every fight. But
or they're a bunch of little guys and he kicks the shit out of them all.
But this one is I have to run to survive the entire time. I'm getting the snot beat out of me. But
get smart about it.
Kevin Peter Hall here is playing the Predator, as we've already discussed. He died at age 35.
He did?
I don't know of what.
Probably
I don't know
Predator-related symptoms.
Yeah, probably.
So that
he picked up a gun and got his head blown up.
That's right.
But
he got alien blood on him.
Well, given the time, like, because he died in like 91, so my first thought was AIDS, because that was like the time for that to be going down, right? And having a couple movies under his belt, I could see like a lot of offers coming his way for the poon. But but yeah,
what a smart idea, Arnold. Smart idea.
Well, I think he
thinks he's going to step under and then Arnold's going to kick him into it or something, right?
Well, there's got a little trip.
A trap.
He's a little trip he has to kick and it'll like cause all the spikes to come down. But here's the problem.
It's for the log.
He's smart enough, a hunter, to know if the thing says, come over here and kill me, it's probably a trap.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that was it.
He's slimy and he's like, it's so
He was
good.
dripping out of his mouth there too, eh? Like a drool.
Oh,
yeah.
So bad. Could you imagine that?
Made some little bitch scream too when he got hit.
Yeah. Little bitch. Screw you, little bitch.
Intergalactic little bitch.
Yeah. So this thing, we didn't get actually to discuss the Rotten Tomatoes on Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It was one of our highest Rotten Tomatoes ever. It was 97%.
No shit.
Rotten Tomatoes. This one, not so much. It was 78%, which is still really good.
That's really good. So I think it should be higher, though.
87% audience.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So I was going to put it somewhere in the 82, 83 or something.
This, it made $59.7 million, and like we said, it cost $15 million. So, and this is, again, we only do domestic. See, I like this scene, too, where he actually has this kind of moment of pity, kind of like the same way that he's recognized that this thing is not killing. This thing is killing in a very specific way. And he's kind of like, oh, I have to kind of like, I almost owe him the same honor. I'm just going to let him die.
You think that with the bomb, I always thought it was kind of cheap.
Yeah.
But I think maybe in a sense that he has to get rid of his body. Because he knows he's going to die.
Yeah.
And you can't have other races and things, not races, but other
can't be
species.
How are you going to hunt it?
Exactly, right? Like, if they find you, they're going to know your secrets and stuff. So I always thought in the day that he was kind of like, fuck you, I'll kill you too, Arnold. Yeah. But I think he's getting rid of it. It might be a little bit of both.
Yeah.
But I think more so it would make more sense that he's getting rid of the evidence of himself.
Yeah, I agree. I really like too because this is like a
tic-tac counter.
Yeah, exactly. I think that it's cool because he's got like it's a little language, a little like its own out.
Or I was like, okay, this evil laugh you have going in these things that are, then that beeping sound that's getting louder as the.
Yeah, it's like I've put two and two together. Have you?
You laugh, eh?
This is actually based on a dream that John McTiernan had in high school. It was the whole nuke on an island thing. So he's got to run away. And I don't like the explosion though. For all the like good effects and stuff they had, they could have just made it a regular explosion instead of some plasma thing.
Oh, it's fucking the plane up.
Yeah. Well, right, as it would, right?
She made it.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you, lady.
That
Good
is Kevin Peter Hall right there. That is the Predator.
Oh, that's him right there?
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
Just hanging out with Prune Face.
Man, I got chair ass.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, this one's almost done, and then we'll be.
Oh my god.
Good to go. So yeah, this one
5
made
more to go.
There we go. So this one made 59.7 million. As I said, it debuted #1 ahead of Witches of Eastwick, which debuted the same week.
Good movie.
It also that same week, Beverly Hills Cop 2 was there. Untouchables, Harry and the Hendersons.
Oh
so,
my god, The
so
Untouchables
he had
is
two
such
top.
a ridiculous movie.
I know.
Oh my god.
And Ernest Goes to Camp.
Oh my god.
And like I said, Platoon was in its 26th week in the top 10 at this point. Crocodile Dundee was there. Witches of Eastwick, and it switched places the next week. Then it went down to #3 the following week when Dragnet, Spaceballs, and Full Metal Jacket all came out.
That's a cool shot right there.
Yeah. I had a
like
weird
that.
time though. I was like, Full Metal Jacket came out the same day as Spaceballs? That's so weird to me.
Both hilarious films.
Yes.
I couldn't tell you which one was funnier. So this place was already on fire. They probably set a couple little fires, but it was already burned down.
That was all it was all dead trees and stuff because that had already burnt down. So what they did was just like, they lit some fires and they like charred it and stuff
he
like
looks
that. But,
fucked up.
yeah. Yeah, he's been through something. He was supposed to be in the sequel, like they did. He wasn't even going to be the lead in the sequel. At one point he was going to, and then they didn't. And then they were like, well, what if we bring you back just as a kind of like, oh, here's what you're up against kind of thing. And then he didn't want to do that really either. And then it just kind of got abandoned. But the girl is in the second one, which I forgot about.
She is?
Yes. And I think she's the here's what you're dealing with kind of lady. I love
Puncho.
this scene.
Wink.
The only other thing, Sergeant Rock, he's carrying that because Schwarzenegger was going to make a Sergeant Rock movie. And so they had tons of the comics there and people were reading them and stuff, and he was reading them to try and decide if he wanted to do the movie. Obviously, it didn't happen, so that was the most friendly he's been in the entire thing. Yeah.
It's the most friendly he's been in his entire life. Yeah. She's a cutie, eh?
That's not how it was spelt in IMDb.
Oh,
this is so weird. This is very like this reminds me of Jarhead, except these like were shot specifically to be just like the credit things. None of those were in a shot like from the movie.
Did they do Jesse Ventura?
No.
Did he get one of those?
No. Now that you mentioned it, I didn't see it. That's weird.
Yeah. What the shit? Jesse was there, man.
Yeah. Oh man. So really, and
Kevin Peter Hall as the Predator master.
The Predator. But oh man, what a good movie.
That movie kicked my fucking ass in. I'm actually doing a lot better than I thought I was going to be at this point in time.
Yeah, no,
I had no nap.
Oh yeah, no.
Well, I had to lay down.
It was the same. Our official mascot, my dog Leia, woke me up very early this morning, and then I was
what?
Yeah, she woke me up.
No. When did she become our official mascot?
When I took a picture of her and put it on our Twitter.
Oh, Jesus. So I guess the picture of the close-up of our two nuts mashed together with those googly eyes stuck to it is no longer our mascot.
No, that's still our logo.
Oh, okay.
Like it's all our official branding is based on our mashed together nut sacks. It's just that
don't forget with those stick-on googly eyes.
Yes, with the stick-on googly eyes. Well,
it's got to be a living being.
Yeah, what's the point? Like without
Nutsy. He loves peanut butter, that nutsy.
No, one is a nutsy. Together they're the nutsy party.
And they love peanut butter.
Yes. And hate Jews. Despite the fact that all the circumcision's going on down there.
Oh, yeah.
But,
circumcise the demons.
I'm disgusting myself. But what the hell was the caterer? Especializada. There's too many words altogether. Especializada. There we go.
Oh my God. They just threw something in there. It was just things they ate off the jungle floor.
Yeah. I feel like they just like kind of make up, well, like it's like the way that Taco Bell makes up Mexican words for the things. There's a quesarito. There's no way that that's a Mexican word.
I told you, they just made it up. They just ate things they found in the jungle.
I just saw Robert Kurtzman's name in there under, I think it was some special effects stuff I recognize.
The curtsy.
It's funny because when you go through those, you recognize a lot of these names because a lot of them are become people who are like ILM people, or they were under the Winston Group or whatever. And so they become like people you see when you watch these like featurettes and movies and things like that.
Stan Winston's company done anything recently or not?
He's dead, so I think
it's I know, but the companies should still be going, man.
I think that it got swallowed up by ILM.
Oh, my God.
Well, you say, oh, my God, but I mean, they do amazing work for most movies still. So.
Sure they do.
So I'll give it a little long, tall
Of course,
sell.
you're going to talk up the ILM.
No, I'd like to talk about Disney. Well, I guess ILM does most of Disney's shit.
Exactly.
Sorry, but the
don't be sorry to me, bud.
I'm not that sorry.
I know.
Don't worry about it. Hashtag sorry, not sorry. I love that they have to put any events in this or characters were fictitious because nobody wants. Hey, the character's based on me.
There's like a real predator out there, real pissed. That's not how we are at all. They're like the most fun-loving, beautiful creatures, and he's mad.
And I do get the point. Like the legal point is, you stole my characters, like these things from me to make this character or whatever, and that's a very simple thing, but they have to have that whole blanket statement which also includes the events, right? And I'm like, full well that you don't have to mention that for the events.
But I always think when I see the Predator, there was this guy called Wesley Willis.
Oh,
do you remember Wesley Willis? I whoop Batman's ass. I whoop that guy.
Alanis
Morissette. In the one tune, he says, okay, so back in the day, there was like 106 in Park on BET.
Okay.
And there was these two hosts, the girl, and then there was AJ, and he was this big tall dude with huge dreadlocks. And in the one Wesley Willis tune, he's like, AJ from 106 in Park, he looks like the Predator. I just, every time I see the Predator, I think about that fucking dude from 106 in Park.
The song, I can't even explain him. If you haven't heard of Wesley Willis, you can look it up, but he has these songs. But I wasn't like, is he mentally challenged?
Yes, big time. Pearl Jam found him.
What?
Pearl Jam found him.
I'm having a real hard time with this story.
No, but, maybe I'm thinking Spoon Man. One very popular artist knew Wesley Willis because he used to sell art and he used to sing on the keyboard, right? Out on the streets. And I'm sure it's Eddie Vedder or something actually found him. I'm not saying they produced his CDs or anything, but they knew him and would buy his crappy art for like way too much money.
Them showing their support.
Right. Kind of. Yeah. I don't know. I need to look into this. Look into this, people.
Yeah. But and look up his stuff. He's got a song that's just all about Alanis Morissette. He's got another one that's called Rock and Roll McDonald's, which literally the whole thing is Rock and Roll McDonald's. Rock and roll. I don't want to pay for his rights. But,
I'm sure he's gonna. Imagine we get a cease and desist letter from Wesley Willis's lawyer.
Yeah, it would happen. He's coming now. I heard a knock on the door.
Holy fuck!
All right, so we're gonna wrap this one up for today. We got another one to go. We are rocking and rolling. Thank you all so much as always for tuning in. Tune in next week. I say tune in, but it's not tuning. Just download or stream our show next week. That. I know, but check us out next week. We're going to announce the next movie. I promise you it's going to be a good one. What's really funny is that this is one that I'm not sharing with Todd until I press play.
I have no idea. We're going to press play in a couple minutes.
Yep, so we're getting there. It is very late here and we are still rocking and rolling.
Still going.
All-nighter tonight. So we love you guys. As always, get in touch with us. Find us on come to our website. You can contact us through there. Twitter at Miscast Podcast. Make sure to follow us. Make sure to like us. Subscribe to us. All those good things. They do help. It promotes us. It makes us more visible to more people.
Makes us stronger.
So, and as always, word of mouth is going to be the way that we get around, and I can actually see that when I look at our stats. I see, one person in this small area did it. Now a bunch of people in this small area. So thank you to anybody who is out there spreading the word.
When you fear and believe in Freddy, he is real.
Yeah.
And he's strong.
Yeah, if you don't believe in me, I'm not real.
Yeah, not even close.
Yeah. And that's like just a depression thing, but
it doesn't depress me. But if you don't believe in me, then I don't exist.
No,
and that depresses me.
I just mean like in that I have depression. If they don't believe in me, I'll just go. I don't believe myself either. like that kind of thing. So
you can do it. No, you can't. Yeah. Fuck it.
So encourage this mentally unstable young man here. Well, not even young anymore. Crap.
See, he's delusional too. He's fucked.
Medium man.
Just fucked right up.
But not yet old, not yet young. See, I'm not.
You don't
something.
belong
I don't
anywhere.
Believe in me anymore.
You don't belong anywhere.
Fuck. We might not be doing a third movie now. Fuck it.
I will. He's probably gonna commit suicide.
But all right. Tune in next week, guys. I will be here. I promise. I'm gonna work through this.
I'll probably be here too. I've got nothing better.
All right. Have a good one.
This has been Miscast Commentary with your hosts, Joe Finley and Todd Murray. Executive producer, Joe Finley. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. Visit www.miscastcommentary.com for all news related to the podcast. Miscast Commentary is a Miscast Media production.